What's going on, college hoops heads? This is the Center Hub team live on YouTube, on Twitter, wherever you are watching. My name is Stephen Bagel. I am joined by Julian Mendelson. You can follow him on Twitter at 12jmendel. And Conrad Pasquale. You can follow him on Twitter at CP3_777. And gentlemen, it is that time. Okay.
Old school. You got to print it out and everything.
Yeah.
So I usually do print out a couple copies when the bracket is, out. But just because we're doing this live stream, just to keep up with who's playing who and we could actively be talking about matchups, I just figured it'd be easier to print out and write as they're going through it.
That is so old school, and I love it.
There you go.
It's true junkie. It's junkie behavior, basketball junkie behavior.
How are you gentlemen doing today on this fine 2026 Selection Sunday?
Well, it can't get much better knowing that, we're going to have March. We've had, by the way, before we even talk about March Madness, can I just say the conference tournaments have been unbelievably fantastic this year.
Mm-hmm.
They're good every year. Don't get me wrong. It's one of the best events of the season, the 2 weeks leading up to March and, March Madness itself. But the amount of crazy endings that we've seen in conference tournaments this year, the amount of OT games we've seen, double OT games.
How about shout out to Lehigh? I mean, Julian and I were there on Wednesday night to watch them in the Patriot League, but they had no business even really beating Holy Cross except for Nasir Whitlock's almost 3/4 of the court shot that had them win the game. Otherwise, it was going to go to overtime.
Both of those teams in that championship won on crazy last-second shots at some point in that
and BU beat Navy on
you had Boston on the chance. Gladden, he wasn't quite at half court. Sorry, but... Yeah.
But it was a crazy pull-up jumper.
Crazy pull-up. You had the Presbyterian Radford game. You had the Dayton St. Louis game. Iowa State.
Dayton St. Louis was crazy yesterday.
Yeah, there's been so many unbelievably close games.
Yeah.
In this college basketball tournament process. It's been awesome.
Shout out to the Penn Quakers winning both games in Ivy Madness in overtime to cut down the nets.
Yeah. Another just casual pair of overtime games.
Yeah. And I think they said it was the second and third overtime games ever in Ivy Madness. Because if you guys remember, Ivy Madness is still new. They used to not have a conference tournament. It was just best team would make it.
Yeah.
I think they started in 2017. It's only the second and third overtime games ever in the history of Ivy Madness. Conrad, how are you doing today?
Excellent. It's beautiful out here in the Bay Area. Sunny, not a cloud in the sky. It's 80 degrees. And yet, I admit, I was indoors. I was watching, the conclusion of the Ivy League tournament, the SEC tournament. Exciting stuff. It's crazy that we still get, an entire tournament's worth of this type of action.
So... we are about, let's say, 25-ish minutes away, give or take, from the Selection Sunday show that'll be on CBS. Should we just jump into what our resident bracketologist, Andrew Schaefer, what he has? We could talk a little bit about some of those.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. So there we go. Might be a little small, but anyway. So Andrew, based off this bracket, his last four in, he has Missouri, Miami, Ohio, Texas, and SMU as the last four teams to qualify for March Madness. His first four out, as you could see on the right-hand side, Auburn, Oklahoma, San Diego State, and New Mexico. It's ironic that this year people are talking about this being the worst bubble we've ever had. Oh, we really didn't get... We got one bid sealer, I think. Akron. That was the only one. By Akron...
Yeah.
By Miami, Ohio, now winning the conference tournament. Akron... Because everyone's like, oh, VCU's a bid sealer. VCU was probably going to be a Dayton team in the last four, and then ironically, they beat Dayton to win the A10. But VCU is probably in the field anyway. They're just not going to have a playing game to have to get there now. So yeah, I see. If you see up in the 10 seeds, Santa Clara is there as well. Maybe them in Missouri or them in Miami, Ohio could be flip-flopped, and Santa Clara has to play in Dayton on Tuesday or Wednesday for the first 4. But overall, Julian, I'll start with you. I mean, let me ask this. We don't know the matchups yet. We don't know who's playing well, but based off this seeding, is there any matchup that you would want to see?
I think once again, I'm looking at it. The 12 seeds are very, very dangerous this year.
Yeah.
I think McNeese and High Point are probably going to be underseeded, which is just how these things go. But I think both of these teams, I know they were both in the same region last year, and McNeese, beat the brakes off of Clemson in the first round. And I know High Point lost by a lot to Purdue. But I think both of those teams will give whoever they play trouble. I think the 2 teams I think are in trouble, I think probably Arkansas, if they have to face one of those teams, just because of the inexperience. I think that's a dangerous matchup for them. Nothing to do with the talent. It's just those are 2 very high octane teams, and I think that I could see Cal getting into a shootout with either of them. And I think St. John's also may struggle in one of those early round games. Again, 2 very experienced head coaches, so I hate to be saying that. But I think matchup wise, I think both of those teams, they could actually give any of those 4 or 5 seeds trouble, in my opinion. But I think especially Arkansas, St. John's, I think they could give those 2 teams trouble.
Conrad, how about you? Anything just based off how Andrew has the final? Again, this isn't matchup based, but like, are there any matchups you want to see or anything that you find notable?
No, I mean, I think Andrew laid this out really nicely. I'm with Julian with regards to kind of like, well, I do think the 13 I wouldn't say the 13 seeds are necessarily poised for an upset, but like if this is like the true, like the potential like kind of matchups you could see between the 4 seeds and the 13s. I mean, like the 13s are just kind of like very irregularly built teams that like pose some challenges, especially like in the front court. But other than that, I feel like the 10 seeds are definitely that's a competitive group. Like that's a very competitive group. Again, a lot of length, a lot of athleticism on those teams. So I could definitely, I wouldn't say, well, maybe it's in, quote unquote upset, but I do think that they definitely pose a lot of difficulty for their potential first round matchups.
Can I just say real quick, if those actually end up being the 4-10 seeds, Kentucky's gone. I don't care who they play.
Yeah.
Kentucky would be a 7, so they'd have to play.
Kentucky's gone.
And Kentucky, I believe Kentucky would not play Texas A&M because of playing in the same conference.
Yeah, they wouldn't throw 2 SEC teams in the same.
No, just based on bracketing principles. But we do have the man, the myth, the legend, actually backstage right now. The man who assembled this, seating, and the Center Hub's very own bracketologist, college basketball expert. I don't love calling Andrew bracketologist just because he's so much more than that.
I think it's a diminishing thing to what Andrew does.
Exactly. But bracketology is one of his.
I think he really is our resident bracketologist. Like he's definitely our resident bracketology expert. So
he is our resident bracketology. We could say that. I think that's fair.
Okay, so let's add Andrew. Andrew, how you doing?
Gentlemen, what's up?
We're here.
How you doing?
We made it, man.
We're here. We made it. I finally made it.
So Andrew actually was supposed to start the show with us, but Andrew, what is it? Bracket Matrix, I believe, was what you had to submit.
Yeah, so I have to submit everything by the start of the selection show. So I just submitted everything, so everything's done. So It is what it is now.
Okay, and is this what you submitted? What we're looking at right here on the screen?
Yep,
Okay.
exactly what you're looking at is what I submitted. Yep.
Okay. So, what is, Andrew, your opinion? I see we talked about your final 4 teams in Missouri, Miami, Ohio, Texas, and SMU.
Yep.
Your first 4 out: Auburn, Oklahoma, San Diego State, New Mexico. My first question:
Sure.
out of that first 4 out, how
Mhm.
many actually have a shot at making it? Is it just Auburn, or do you think any of those other teams could also find their way in?
Yeah, I really think it's just Auburn.
Okay.
And the reason is because if you look at the metrics, their strength of record and WAB, which are two of the more respected resume metrics on the sheet, are actually tournament worthy. As crazy as that sounds, their strength of schedule is incredible. If you look at who they played this year, they have I think it's like top 5 non-conference strength of schedule. So I understand they have a lot of losses. Like 16 losses is a lot. I'm not going to dispute that. But if any year a 16 loss team is going to get in the tournament, this is the year because the bubble is so bad. It is probably the worst bubble we've ever seen in the NCAA tournament. I could see Auburn getting in. I can also see them being left out. I mean, again, they're the curveball team, right? Like they're the team out. And honestly, if they're in, I'm not going to be shocked by it. I'm not going to be opposed to it. I totally understand why the committee would go this route. They have a win over Florida, which obviously helps a lot. Anytime you beat a number 1 seed, especially on the road, which they did, that does help a lot. I just felt like 17 and 16 is ridiculous to be considered. I just think that's absolutely absurd.
So yeah, I don't know if we were live when we were talking about this, but
Yeah.
Julian, Conrad, and I were talking. There's never not only been an at-large to lose 16 games that made it, there's also never been an at-large to not be at least 2 games above 500 that made it. So Auburn would be the first for either of those categories.
Correct. Yeah.
I
And it's also funny because Bruce Pearl is on the selection show.
Yeah, I'm looking right now. It's Bruce Pearl, Wally Zerbiak, who's obviously a Miami, Ohio alum.
Yeah.
So that'll be fun to see. Okay, so Andrew, another thing that I actually pointed out before we started going was the wins above bubble. 44 for Auburn, 45 for SMU, 46 for Texas.
Yeah.
Right.
So if you're basically identical at wins above bubble, because my understanding is that seems to be like the new sexy metric for the committee.
That is correct, yeah.
So what then would they look at?
Well, with resume, it's usually WAB, strength of record. Those are the two that normally match up. KPI is kind of an outlier for the most part with a lot of the teams. With the predictive metrics, it's KenPom and Torvik usually are pretty similar. BPI is kind of the outlier. If you look at most metric sheets, that's kind of what everyone's agreed on over the last few years. So if you look at like for Auburn, their strength of record and WAB are 43 and 44. I mean, it's right next to each other. Yeah. Texas is 46 and 44. Again, like nearly identical, right? So, it's, and if you look at Texas's KPI, they're 66, right? Like that's a complete outlier, if you're looking at a sheet. What I would say is, Texas, I wouldn't be shocked if they're left out because their resume metric is outside 50 for the average for the 3 of them. That is very unheard of for them to get in. I just went with them because of the wins they put together. They won at Alabama. They beat Vandy at home. They beat NC State on a neutral floor early in the year. I think that has to matter. But it was a tough call, honestly. I would not be surprised if Auburn's in and one of those two is left out. I think the big question I have for SMU is how does the committee evaluate them without BJ Edwards playing in the ACC tournament? Because that is a huge thing. We know what happened last year with West Virginia with Darren DeVries being out, and then they were left out of the bracket last year. So I'm very curious to see how they grade SMU. Obviously, teams are going to come out and say their guys are going to play because it affects their seeding. If they say, oh, the guy's not playing, the committee's not putting them in. That would be dumb. So I honestly think it was smart by SMU to say, oh, BJ Edwards is going to play, even if he's done for the season. Yeah. And Texas Tech actually did the same thing with Christian Anderson. Because remember, he got hurt in the Big 12 tournament, and they don't have JT Toppin either. So they would have been evaluated possibly differently. So it's kind of a mind screw in a way by some of these teams.
So, Julian, let's go to you. We obviously just heard the bracketology perspective from Andrew. Who do you, out of SMU, Texas, and Auburn, 2 of those are going to make it? Which 2 do you want to see in the tournament?
The ones that are in. I watched Auburn play the first game of the season at home against Bethune-Cookman, and from then on out, I believe this team is not that good.
Boycott Holy and hold a grudge.
I do. You know I'm like this. But you know, jokes aside, like I get it. They've had a tough schedule, right? But the thing is you're a Power 4 team. You have to have a tough schedule. That's what comes with the territory, right? So like I'm not going to praise them for doing what they're supposed to do and struggling with it at the end of the day. You know, they played tough games. They lost 16 of them. And at the end of the day, like the other teams that are in this conversation are also very good teams with quality wins who have better records. I think there's something to that.
Are Texas and SMU really good teams though? Like again, this is a weak bubble compared to.
Sure, it's a weak bubble. I'm not going to dispute that, but like they're in this conversation for a reason. You know, Texas is a fellow SEC team. They play in conference a lot of the same games that Auburn does.
Yeah,
and they did better. You know, SMU, sure, you know they play in the Big 12, but that's not like some slouch
ACC.
conference. Sorry, you're right. They are in the ACC. I always mix them up with
They should be in the Big 12 because of location, but that's a different story.
That's what happened. Yeah, I always mix up which AAC teams went to the Big 12 and which ones did. But I get it. The ACC, the AACC, I almost said AAC, their old conference, isn't what it used to be, but they're still sending what 5 teams this year? It looks like.
No, they're sending way more than 5.
The ACC, if SMU gets in, it would be 8 for them.
It would be 8. Okay. Well, so they're in a conference with. I was trying to like quick look through and do that.
Yeah. So it's Duke, North Carolina, Louisville, Virginia, Clemson, Miami, NC State, and then SMU if they get in would be 8.
Okay. So SMU's in a conference with 7 other tournament teams, right?
Correct.
It's not like they're not playing anybody. So, you know, I get it. Auburn had a slightly tougher non-con schedule. But I don't think that that's really an excuse for being a 500 team that deserves to make March Madness. I just don't.
I would agree with you. I mean, I think the argument, and again, you know, the Power 5, like I know the SEC commissioner is on the committee. So his argument would be, well, what if Auburn played Miami, Ohio's schedule? Well, no kidding. Auburn would probably go undefeated. No kidding. You know, that's the whole argument, I think, is like these mid-major teams can't schedule because nobody wants to play them because
So that's kind of the other thing here is like I think you can't set a precedent going forward of if you're a Power 4 team and there's a quality mid-major that wants to play you, it's more beneficial to not play those games because at the end of the day, that team schedule is going to look bad no matter how well they do, even if they go undefeated. And even, you know, as a 500 team with a great schedule, you can still get in. And I think that's a really, really dangerous precedent for the NCAA to set right now.
And you have metrics like Ken Palm and Bartovic where, hey, if we just schedule a team in the SWAC or the MEAC and kick the crap out of them and win by 50 points, it's going to help your metrics as well. So why would you schedule Belmont? Why would you schedule Miami, Ohio when you could schedule Mississippi Valley State, who a lot of top teams do schedule because they know they're going to win by 70 points. It's going to help them in the metrics.
Yeah, you can't set that precedent. You're becoming a lot more like college football if you do that, I think. So I think for the good of college, this is going to sound way out of line, but for the good of college basketball scheduling, you have to put Miami, Ohio in above Auburn. I don't care if Auburn gets in over Texas or SMU from that perspective, but you can't, you know, I think it ruins the sport in a way if you keep Miami, Ohio out specifically and put Auburn in.
This week bubble has turned into some kind of existential like crisis.
Yeah, no, it's like I said, you know, it really comes down to like how much does the committee value mid-major teams, right? Because there's so many of them in that area, right? I mean, you had VCU potentially in there also if they had lost today to Dayton. Like, I don't know what that would have done. That would have been a completely different curveball, you know.
Right.
So I think at the end of the day, the NCAA is all about making money and protecting their top five leagues. That's really what it's about for them. I think as fans and people that love the sport, we want to see Cinderella be involved. I think it's something that the sport needs desperately, instead of being instead of being you know, a chalky sport, we'll call it. So,
Andrew, do you think VCU would have gotten in if they lost to Dayton?
boy, that's a really good question. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think they probably would have been the first team out.
Okay.
Because they didn't really have the wins against the field. Like if you look at who they beat Virginia Tech, who's not in the field. They beat South Florida. All right, South Florida's in now, but South Florida's an 11 seed. They would have beaten Dayton twice, but that's in their own league. So they haven't really done a lot. I think they would have been left out, honestly. I would have kept them in. Like I would have loved to have seen them be in over Texas or Auburn or SMU. But I think the committee would go, well, if we put VCU in, then we're leaving out a Power 5 school. And, it's all these politics, right? It's all politics when it comes to this stuff. So I think VCU would have been left out. I personally probably would have put them in my bracket. That's what I would have done. But I probably would have been just me being spiteful.
Yeah. So we have a question from Knee Football League. When does it actually start airing? And then there's a follow comment to Real Show. We are the Real Show, number one. But Selection Sunday will be on, I think, in 8 minutes. There's a countdown on CBS right now. So 6 o'clock Eastern, they're going to start reviewing the bracket. We will not be airing it on here, obviously, for copyright reasons. But, follow along with us while we're going through. That's the best way I could tell you guys to approach it.
Yeah, we don't want to get demonetized, guys.
No, we do not. We do not want to be shadow banned either. But anyway, what about Julian said to be wary of the 10 seeds, correct?
No, Conrad said the 10.
Conrad said that.
12.
Yeah.
I think whichever 6 seed, like if Louisville or BYU are going to play USF, I'm taking USF in that matchup because Louisville just seems like this iteration of the Louisville team just does not win big games. We saw last year they lost in the first round to Creighton. And BYU has not been good since basically losing Richie Saunders. That USF team has legitimate athleticism. I think they're really good. And even not them, any of these 11 seeds, I think might give those struggling BYU, Louisville teams some trouble. I'm trying to pull up BYU.
I'll because I wrote up Louisville. I can talk about Louisville briefly. If the 3 ball's not going down, it doesn't matter who this Louisville team plays. That front court's not good enough to win multiple games in March Madness unless they're shooting, the outrage. They're a 3-point shooting team. They're going to score a lot if they're hitting from 3. If they're not hitting from 3, I think they're in real trouble.
Yeah. And BYU is 6-9 in the last 15 games.
Ouch.
They started off 17-2, but
yeah,
honestly,
they were another tricky team to kind of figure out because how do you evaluate them without Richie Saunders? It's really difficult because honestly, I think the way they're playing, they're probably an 8-9 seed. To be honest with you, but because of the wins they got, and they also beat Texas Tech without Richie Saunders. They had to be a 6. Now, just keep in mind, for bracketing purposes, they are an interesting team to watch because of their religion, so they can't play on Sunday. So they're going to be in a Thursday-Saturday grouping because of their religion. Sometimes that screws with seeding. I don't think it's going to in this case, but I know in years past it has.
Shout out to Brandon Davies for having premarital sex and getting suspended. Do you guys ever listen to the Eye on College Basketball podcast with Norlander and Parrish?
Oh, yeah.
One of those sticks is shout out to Brandon. Smash that like button like you're Brandon Davies. I love it. Every time I listen to the pod, I love it.
Oh, God.
So typical.
Brandon Davies, one process sixer, but also
I know, I was going to say, process legend.
But also screwed my favorite college basketball player, Jim Fredette, out of a potential national championship by getting suspended. But
Yeah.
anyway,
Process sixer.
yeah, Brandon Davies was a process six for a couple of years.
Yeah. Got buckets and everything. You
I was
know.
10, dude. What do you want from me?
Okay, so let's really dig into, again, we're going to have the bracket in a couple of minutes, but until the bracket starts being revealed, out of these 14, 15, and even 16 seeds,
Yeah.
who do we, again, obviously it's going to be very matchup dependent because a lot of these teams would need to match up well with the 2 or 3 or 1 seed that they face.
Mhm.
Who do we like out of these 14, 15, 16s to maybe win a game?
None of them. To answer your question.
I mean, that's a valid answer.
The answer is none. I mean, if I had to pick one, I would probably go with Penn because of Fran. Because Fran's, probably the most experienced coach in the spot.
Yeah.
In terms of like he's been to the NCAA tournament. He knows what it takes to win in the tournament. A lot of these guys are going for the first time. They don't know what to expect. Most of them. Fran's done it at the Power 5 level, and he did it at Siena many years ago. So I think Penn is the most likely. Plus, they also have TJ Power, who obviously was played Duke in Virginia. Ethan Roberts, if he comes back, obviously that's a huge get for them as well. I have them matched up against Gonzaga. That's anytime you play Gonzaga, it's going to be a challenge because of what Markey's been able to do in the tournament over his career. But we'll see. I think if I'm a Big Ten team playing Penn, I'd be a little scared because Fran kind of knows who they are. You think about like if they were to play Nebraska like that, I wouldn't be surprised if Penn made it close.
Just to say, Andrew, when you say a Big Ten team, you mean any of the teams outside of Gonzaga that you have at the 3 seed?
Correct. But I mean, Nebraska is the one team I think they can get, like, actually beat. I think it's well, Purdue's got so much size. I mean, it's just going to be hard when you face that kind of length, even though Purdue's had their issues in the tournament, obviously. And Illinois just offensively, they have so many weapons. I mean, they're so talented. I think Nebraska, if Penn draws Nebraska, I think there's an outside shot Penn could pull it off.
What about Troy? Troy, as we know, beat San Diego State in double overtime and nearly beat USC, who obviously collapsed after Chad Baker-Mazzola and Rodney Rice both went out in triple overtime. Like, they showed they could hang with tournament. I wouldn't say tournament level teams either. Neither of those teams ended up getting
bubble teams. They're bubble teams.
Yeah, that's a fair assessment. So, like, Scott Cross is a hell of a coach. There's a lot of speculation that he's getting closer to taking the Georgia Tech job. He obviously has ties to that AD. I don't want to go on the whole coaching carousel rant, but like I think they're dangerous 14 as well.
Conrad, you want to take it? I mean, Conrad wrote them. I
was gonna say, man, if you're pressing me to pick a 14 seed to pull off the upset, I would pick Troy. All Sun Belt, authorship bias aside. Again, I think. It would definitely be a tall task for them to pull off an upset. I'm kind of with Julian. I mean, I think their best chance is against a team like Gonzaga, and that's no shade at Gonzaga. But again, just because of Gonzaga, like kind of dealing with like some injuries, a little bit more susceptible in the front court. We saw that late in the season. Obviously, Gonzaga, they knew that they were in. I think they kind of felt comfortable with where their seeding was going to be, regardless of whether or not they won like the last game of the season, regular season, that is. But still, with Braden Huff having missed a lot of, some extended time. I think that Troy, of the 14 seeds, they're the one team that can truly impose their will in the sense they can force opponents to play at their pace. I don't think you can really say that about the other teams. I mean, Penn definitely has the ability to play at a more dynamic pace if they want to. But I think Troy just always forces their opponents to kind of make it into, kind of like a fist fight almost, right? And it's always just half court execution. And when that's the case, they have a chance, and as Steven was saying, right, they've proven that, against some quality competition. But again, it has to really be if they can really force those kinds of conditions. Because obviously we know they don't really have the same shooting as the other teams, but they are great offensive rebounders, right? And that's where it comes down to, is if they can win the possession battle, they give themselves a good shot.
I will say for any team, if I don't think it's going to happen, but if it were to happen, I think any team that doesn't expect to be there at all, like a lower seeded team in their conference tournament that makes March and is playing their best basketball, is extremely dangerous. And I think Idaho and Prairie View are the two teams, 15 and 16 seed. I'm not I'm not predicting the upset. I think it's very unlikely. I think the other teams are more talented than they are. But I think it is worth noting that, like, Idaho was a 7 seed in their conference tournament. Prairie View was an 8 seed in their conference tournament. And right now they're both playing their best basketball at the right time. I think that's, like, again, not likely. There's a very good chance. I mean, Prairie View could lose the play-in game. Idaho probably could get blown out by 20. But I just wanted to note that there's two teams who are playing their best basketball right now, and I think that's always important coming into March.
So they are about to get underway with the bracket show. Julian, I know you need to hop off. You'll be joining us after the bracket show concludes for the remainder of the show. Any final departing thoughts real quick before they start revealing the bracket?
They better not put these Auburn Tigers in my bracket. That's it.
Only time will tell.
Sorry, Auburn fans.
Okay, Duke is the number 1 overall seed, it looks like.
See you guys later.
All
right.
We'll see you at the top of the hour.
I'm curious how Duke's going to play without Foster. It's going to be really fascinating.
So Duke is playing in Greensville, South Carolina, as I'm assuming the number 1 overall seed. They're playing Siena.
Yes, my guy, Jerry McNamara.
So it's Duke versus Siena?
Duke versus Siena.
Okay.
And you guys see me filling out my...
Yeah, I'm ahead of you if you want me to read it. I don't mind reading it, but I won't say anything.
Ohio State is the 8.
Since I'm ahead of you guys, I won't say anything.
Freaking YouTube TV. Not
I will say I'm happy for McNamara and Siena. They're obviously very good.
TCU versus Ohio State is the 8 and 9. Sorry, Angel.
No, you're good. I just don't see Siena beating Duke. Ohio State TCU is really interesting. TCU's had some really good wins, but Ohio State is playing so well right now. There's St. John's.
St. John's is a 5.
I knew they were going to go out west. I had a feeling that was going to happen.
So they're on San Diego, St. John's.
Not surprised. I didn't think they would be put in the East. I'm not surprised. I know a lot of
Northern Iowa.
So that's going to be a grinder. Northern Iowa's a great defensive team. That's going to be a straight grinder, that first game.
Okay. So we have Duke, Siena, Ohio State, TCU, then St. John's, Northern Iowa is the first 6 teams. Then you have Kansas as the 4.
Yep.
So you could have a potential Kansas, St. John's.
Think about Bill Self versus Rick.
Yeah. Cal Baptist is the 13 playing Kansas.
Okay, there goes.
Cal Baptist is good though, but I don't think
before the show began, I was gonna give my Cal Baptist shout out, and maybe there's a possibility maybe there is a possibility.
Not anymore.
Louisville is the 6 playing USF. I said I would take USF.
Yeah, I'm not surprised that played out that way. I like South Florida in that game.
And it looks like Philly is having a 7-10 and 2-15, which is relevant to Julian and I. Michigan State is the 3 playing in Buffalo.
So I got that wrong. I had Michigan State as a 2. Purdue, I would expect to be the 2 now. So they did count the Big Ten title game. So
North
they had a
Dakota State
bracket in place, which I appreciate the committee doing. They had some type of bracket in place. I expect Purdue to be a 2 seed now, and I'm completely okay with that because I had one team at the 8 seed and one team at the 9, so I'm totally fine with Purdue being a 2. I have no problem with that.
So nice. Michigan State is playing North Dakota State. UCLA is headed to Philly. They're the 7. Yep. Donovan Dent, shout out. He's been absolutely incredible. They're playing UCF. UCLA versus UCF is a 7 versus 10.
So I had UCF as a 9. They were right on the cut for a 10. I'm completely fine with that decision by the committee. UCF was probably one of the tougher teams to seed.
Then we have the 2-15 that are playing in Philly, the winner of that game. The number 2 is going to be UConn. I figured that was the name that was coming up.
So that's funny that UConn, St. John's, and Duke are all in the same region. That's pretty funny. That should be something. Oh, God.
Make it earn it. Make it earn it. Mm-hmm.
UConn, and then 15 in Philly against UConn.
I like that.
That means I'm getting a press conference with Mick Cronin. Let's go.
You are getting pressures with him. Good luck
I'm
with
going to
that.
raise my voice at him.
Good luck with that.
He was
Furman.
cordial to me. I mean,
He's pretty. Like, honestly, most coaches are fine if you don't ask ridiculous questions.
I mean, he technically didn't answer my question. He was just like at a loss for words. Like he really.
So
Okay,
here's what. Yeah, go ahead, Steve.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say I like chalk here at the top half of the bracket. I really think it's going to be Duke and Ohio State, St. John's and Kansas. I really do.
Okay, so we have the East region done.
Correct. Yep. Yeah, I'm going Duke over Siena, Ohio State, Kansas, and St. John's. I do have South Florida beating Louisville. I do think that's going to happen. Michigan State should roll North Dakota State. UCLA, I'm a little worried about them because of their injuries, but they should still beat UCF, and I think UConn will beat Furman. UConn UCLA is going to be fascinating. That is
A lot of big brains in this bracket. UCLA,
I like
UConn,
that.
Michigan
Yeah.
State, Louisville, St. John's, Kansas, Duke, Ohio State. A lot of big brains.
Well, that's good. It's good
Right.
that it's more merit based as opposed to historical reputation based, right?
correct. I agree with that. Yeah.
Because I was going to say too, going back, like if you look at the analytics of like some of these teams, like for example, like the Auburn discussion. I know it's kind of going back
Yeah.
to what we were talking about earlier, but I mean, like
Mhm.
there are no analytics that point that they can make a deep run. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like
Yeah.
they're a
yeah.
high variance team that doesn't generate extra possessions. Like I don't know, like
Right.
I'm hoping UCLA beats UCF just so in the second round I could get a Dan Hurley and Mick Cronin game and do both those press conferences.
Oh, it's going to be a sight. I feel so bad for whoever's officiating that game. Oh my god. Good luck to those officials, man. That is brutal. It's a brutal draw. You got Hurley and Cronin.
So wait, who is the 6th seed in this bracket? In this
Louisville.
Louisville.
Louisville. Okay.
Louisville's playing USF in the first
So
round.
the dangerous team in this bracket is South Florida. I think
Yeah.
it's fair to say that they're the
Yeah.
dangerous spot. They could beat Michigan State. I mean, they have the athleticism. Offensively, they're really talented. Michigan State goes through scoring droughts.
Yeah.
Like they've had their issues scoring. I would not be shocked if South Florida beats them. I'm probably not going to pick them because I'm too afraid to do it. But yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, you're good.
No, I was going to say I think South Florida is probably the sleeper team in this bracket. But I'm fully expecting a chalk, honestly. I expect St. John's to beat Kansas. I think St. John's is going to the Sweet 16. I really do. Because I just don't know about Darren Peterson.
I'm pulling up Andrew's bracket real quick.
Oh, okay.
Did you have
I had UCF as a
Iowa?
9. I had Northern Iowa as a 12.
Okay, so you did have them as a 12. I was going to say 12
Yeah.
seemed high just because they were the 6th seed in a very competitive NBC.
Yeah, the problem is a lot of the seeds below them, a lot of those conferences lost, like Liberty
Yeah.
lost, Utah Valley lost, UNC Wilmington lost, all those teams lost, and that kind of pushed Northern Iowa up to a 12. They're a weak 12, but they're a 12. So I expect St. John's to beat them. I would go Duke, St. John's, and then Michigan State, and I kind of like UCLA. If they're healthy, I kind of like them. UConn has not looked very good at all.
So we have, repping a one and done hat,
Hey.
Oh, Mr. Dookie himself.
the number 1 overall seed, Mr. Duke Blue Devil. And then one more time. Okay, it keeps going, so I need to pause it. My co-host, my one and done co-host, Center Hub contributor, John Simpson. John, did you see the first reveal of the East region?
No, what happened?
Did you actually not?
What's he
I
saying?
knew
Yeah,
you
I did.
saw it. Okay, I figured. I don't know if you heard, but I said I'm hoping.
Actually,
Go ahead.
go ahead.
I was going to say I'm hoping UCLA beats UCF in Philly. Then I could get a Dan Hurley versus Mick Cronin game and do those press conferences post game. on Sunday.
That's like pinnacle.
Yeah.
Pinnacle. Yeah. And for the one and done and the plot, you have to ask him about the crowd noise.
I'm going to ask McCrone about the student section and then raise my voice at him.
Student section, yeah.
Okay.
Do you feel like it was a home game or an away game?
Arizona is what region is this?
West. They're gonna be in the West for sure.
Okay. So
Yeah.
Arizona's the 1 seed. They are going to be playing. Angels ahead of me because YouTube TV sucks. We still don't know. Andrew probably knows. I don't
I
know.
know.
LIU,
Actually,
I know
Long
who it is.
Island University.
I'm surprised
low-key-
they're not.
low-key
playing,
kinda rough for
but I'm
them.
happy for them. But I'm really surprised they're not in the plan.
You're
Long
surprised
Island's
LIU's
top
not in the
16,
plan?
dude.
Villanova is headed to San Diego as the 8.
Yeah, I had them as a 9. The 8-9s were very tricky to do this year. As they
Against
normally are.
Utah State. I am torn, John. You
Ooh.
know, John and I have Utah State has a special place in our heart due to Coach Calhoun, due to Darius Brown. They're going to be playing Villanova.
One
in
and done is the
first
Aggie
round.
podcast. Yeah.
Exactly. Utah State's going to beat Villanova. They might beat Arizona. No, they're not. I don't know. Utah State's good.
That's a tough draw for Arizona. LIU's a tough 16 seed, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think they'll be fine.
As far as 16s go, I mean, they're going to beat them, you know what I mean? But like,
yeah.
Okay, we have Wisconsin and High Point in the 5 versus 12. Wisconsin's good, but High Point's we were talking about this earlier on the show. High Point's a dangerous 12.
This game is going to be first to 150 wins. I mean,
Yeah.
that is going to be a high scoring game.
Yeah. High
Oh my
Point against
God.
Wisconsin.
I'm just curious what that over is going to be. Jeez.
they're not going to be able to set it high enough for anybody to take it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, oh, totally.
Arkansas is the 4.
So I'm not surprised by that, but it's inconsistency by the committee because if Arkansas was a 4, how is St. John's not a 4 either? So I'm a little bit confused there, but I'm fine with it. I don't have a problem with it.
Arkansas is going to be playing 13 seeded Hawaii, Conrad. They're going to Portland.
Oh, that's not far. Not that far.
No, that is good. Yes, people.
Yeah, the problem is you're playing Darius A Cup. That's the
Exactly, but dang,
Yeah.
this worked out. This is the location I wanted them in. God dang it!
BYU is a 6. They
Wow.
will be playing. I said these 60s are going to lose. Louisville's going to lose to USF.
problem.
BYU is going to lose to. Oh, they're going to win. NC State is a Dayton team. Texas and NC State are playing
A
each
little
other.
surprising. The resume metrics actually support NC State going to Dayton, so I give the committee credit for having the cojones to put NC State there.
But Texas got in, who I think was
They did
Andrew's
get
last
it.
team.
I did have them in Dayton, yes.
Yeah.
hmm
Gonzaga is the 3 in Portland, Oregon.
Oh, look who they're playing. Gonzaga's got such an advantage playing out west.
Gonzaga is playing Kennesaw State.
Oh come on!
Gonzaga's got such an advantage playing Portland. Man, like, that's almost unfair.
Okay, so then we just have the 7 and 10s Miami, Florida.
Okay.
So now I have an idea.
Miami, Ohio as the 10. I don't
see
know.
what the committee's doing.
Missouri is not a playing team. So Andrew, do
Yeah,
you think they basically flip flop Missouri and NC State?
I do. And I'm not surprised by it because again, the SEC is favored in the bracket. as
Wait
I
a
said
minute.
earlier.
Missouri is out.
No, Missouri's
Missouri's
the
a
10
10
seed.
seed. Missouri's a 10
Missouri's a
seed,
10.
The 10. Okay.
Purdue
10 seed.
is a 2.
which Michigan State being
Wow.
a 3, that was what I said.
Yeah.
hmm
And then Purdue will be playing Queens.
That is a team that can get hot quick. If they get
Yeah.
hot, look out. I'm just saying, if they get hot, look out because Purdue struggles with this kind of stuff. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm just saying if it's close, I'm not going to be shocked. But this bracket was a screw job for me, unfortunately. I actually was only up by 1 seed for a lot of these, for like 3 or 4 of these teams. But
What did you have? Arkansas at, Andrew?
so I had them as my top 5, and they were probably the last 4. It's
Okay.
probably 1 spot off, and it's because the SEC got favorited with them winning today. They probably got bumped up by winning. Mizzou got bumped up, so they're going to stick probably Santa Clara in Dayton, I would think. Or, well, now that Mizzou's a lock, they might have just flip-flopped Mizzou and NC State. It's definitely a possibility.
Yeah.
I'm curious where Santa Clara goes now. I'm very curious to see how that goes.
Yeah.
Um, I still would expect SMU to be in at the moment, but the way this bracket's going, Auburn's getting in because the SEC has gotten some favorable things. Like Arkansas got
Yeah.
4, Mizzou got out of Dayton. Like to me, right now, the SEC is lurking with Auburn coming in, which means
Julian
SMU
is going to
probably
be
gonna win.
enraged.
I know.
His
I
last
know a
thing
lot of
before he
people.
signed off was, "Don't put Auburn in this bracket."
Well, I think the problem is you had the SEC commissioner on the bracket, and I will say it publicly. I think he does side deals behind closed doors with all these other folks. Saying, hey, if you put, Auburn in, I'll go for blah, blah, blah. And I think that happens at breakfast when they're eating. The NCAA is too afraid to put this all on film because they get chastised. They're too afraid. So,
I think that's how
Probably the
UNC got in last year.
correct. Yeah, I think it's the same thing. Bubba Cunningham cut deals
Yeah.
behind the scenes. He got his $100,000 check and he left.
Yeah.
So
I think it's the same thing.
we have in the West region, who do we like? I don't know if you guys have the bracket in front of you.
Yeah,
Arizona's the 1, Purdue's the 3, Gonzaga, or Purdue's the 2, Gonzaga's
Gonzaga.
the 3,
mhm.
Arkansas's the 4, Wisconsin's the 5, BYU's the 6.
So for me, I would say Arizona's going to probably get to the Final Four. I just don't know how they don't because I think Purdue's a kind of a weak 2.
Yeah,
And I think who was the 3? I'm sorry, Gonzaga.
Gonzaga.
Purdue.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't love Gonzaga. Wisconsin's dangerous. If Wisconsin gets to the Sweet 16 to play Arizona, that's going to be very interesting because Wisconsin's done
I
well.
think them
against-
or Arkansas is dangerous.
Yeah, I think that Sweet 16 game is dangerous for Arizona.
Mhm.
Conrad, how about you?
No,
Or
sorry.
Andrew, you can finish your
No, I was
thought.
going to say the bottom half is pretty wide open.
Yeah.
The
The bottom half being BYU as the 6, Gonzaga as the 3, Purdue as the 2, and Miami as the 7.
Yeah, I honestly, Miami's played so well, it really could be
Yeah.
them, and I wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah, I was about to say I really like the bracket for Miami. Like,
Yeah, me too.
if they're gonna make like kind of like a unexpected deeper run than I should say than expected.
Mhm.
I'm with John. I really like. I mean, it's competitive, but I think this is a good path for Arkansas.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Arkansas. So Arkansas would play Hawaii, then the winner, Wisconsin and High Point, then most likely Arizona.
Yeah.
Yeah,
In
I
the
think
Sweet 16.
Arizona should handle Villanova or Utah State. I know that's the Stephen Baggell game. That's what we're going to call it because it is your game, really, if you think about it. But Arizona really should cruise. Villanova's so banged up with all the injuries, and then Stanford
Yeah.
left the team, and Utah State, like the Mountain West has been historically bad in this event outside of San Diego State. So for me, I think Arizona. I'd love to see Arizona, Arkansas. I think it would be awesome.
So
It'd be a great game.
Great game.
Andrew, who are your other
Yeah.
3s? It's Illinois and Nebraska, you think?
Correct.
I'm trying to
Yeah.
figure out if Penn's a 14 who they play, and they're going to have to play one of those 2 teams.
Correct.
Yeah.
Mhm. That's why I said, but if Penn gets Nebraska, I do like that draw for them.
Yeah. John is our resident Illinois aficionado.
Love Illinois.
So with that said, I don't think he would take any 14 seed against Illinois.
That's fair.
I don't know.
So
John,
basically, go ahead, Steve.
John, what do you think about Furman's draw against UConn? You obviously were covering the SoCon tournament for the Center Hub.
It's a rough draw,
Yeah,
I think, for Furman.
of course. Yeah.
If I would like them against a lot of other teams other than UConn. I just think UConn is a tough draw for them. But I mean, Furman's a dangerous team. Alex Wilkins can get so hot
Yeah.
and score. I think he could score against anybody watching him play in the SoCon tournament. And Furman is also like they're one of the, and I wrote it up in the March Madness guide. Spoiler alert, but like they're one of the tallest lineups in the country. Like they're a big team. They're a big,
Yeah.
long team. They've got the bigs. I just don't think that they have what it would take to beat a disciplined team like UConn.
Yeah.
Like I think that's a bad matchup.
That's gonna be a fun.
Like, I would like Furman more against Illinois, I think, than I would against UConn.
Yeah.
Or somebody like that. That can.
I would just feel bad for Furman because they're getting UConn off a terrible game. Like
Yeah.
UConn got annihilated, and now UConn's going to be motivated. They know what's at stake. Now, like Furman's going to get smoked, and I just feel really bad for Bob Ritchie.
Yeah,
'cause
I would have rather if UConn would have cruised through the Big East, I would feel better for UConn than
Okay, Michigan
in what they're
is
going to right now.
they're in the Midwest,
Midwest.
based on geography. Yeah, they're going to be in the Midwest.
They were playing UMBC or Howard.
I am a little surprised UMBC's in a playing game, but I can't fault them. The America East was such a bad league this year. I can't really fault the committee for that.
Georgia is the 8. Georgia will be playing in Buffalo against St. Louis. That St. Louis and Michigan game I'm hoping for in round 2.
Yeah, it'll be a good one.
Mhm.
I'm a little surprised St. Louis is. I mean, St. Louis to me was right on that 9-10 line. They were right there, like either way. I just thought the committee was going to ding them because they were in the A10, but I'm glad the committee kept them there. Honestly, it's a good move on their part.
That's gonna. I hope St. Louis beats Georgia. I don't see that St. Louis Michigan game. Texas Tech is the 5. Obviously, we know JT Toppin is out for the year. Christian Anderson also might be hurt, but
That's a fun game. Oh my god!
against Akron, wow.
Wow, that is
That
a
is a fun
great
game.
first round. That is a great first round game. I really love what John Gross has done. I think that guy's so underrated.
Oh yeah, me and Steven were just talking last night.
Oh, the job he's done is.
I think that
unbelievable.
Travis Steele might be the 4th best coach in that league. Like there's so many good coaches
Yeah,
in
no,
that
he
league.
definitely could be.
Alabama is the 4. Damn, that Texas Tech Alabama game, if they both win their first game, is going to be Hofstra is playing Alabama.
Go Pride. Yeah.
Hofstra, I wrote for the God. Obviously, I just covered the CAA tournament. I think Hofstra could be this year's Cinderella. That's a tough draw, though, to do
Tough draw to get Bama.
Bama and then Texas Tech.
Yeah.
That's offense versus defense
Hard
for
road.
that Hofstra Alabama game. And then in Philly, the second round of games I'm going to be covering. Tennessee is the 6. I'm going to get Hickory native Rick Bones, who graduated high school with John's dad. Miami, Ohio, and SMU are going to Dayton. Winner goes to Philly.
That's totally fine. I had Miami, Ohio there, so I'm not totally shocked they're in Dayton. They are the perfect candidate for Dayton. 100%.
And then that means SMU's in. So Auburn's probably out at this point.
Yes, I would agree they are done. I'm still wondering where Santa Clara is going at this point. I'm assuming they're a 10.
They might be this 10 right here in St. Louis that they're about to reveal.
Definitely could be.
And then Virginia is heading to Philly, the number 3.
Some good games.
Yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy for Virginia. You know, Ryan Odom's done a hell of a job, and I thought about putting them on a
Let it
3.
be Penn. Let it be Penn. God, I wanted Penn in Philly. No.
They're not gonna put Penn in Philly. I'm telling you, they won't do it.
Okay, Andrew, let me dream.
You can dream.
Great state. Kentucky is the 7 in St. Louis, playing Santa Clara.
Can you imagine that Can you imagine that upset and what that would do to Mark Pope's seat if Santa Clara wins that game? Oh my God!
I'm sorry. You mean when Santa Clara wins that
Win.
I'm
game?
sorry.
They're going to win that game.
I'm
Santa
sorry.
Clara's going to win that game.
Conrad knows those two teams about as well as anyone, Kentucky and Santa Clara. So you want to make a game pick? I'd go off Conrad.
Yeah, that's a good matchup for Santa Clara. That's as favorable as a matchup as it gets.
I
Iowa
love that
State,
draw.
Iowa State is the 2.
Yeah, well deserved. Otzelberger's done a hell of a job.
And they are going to be playing. The 15 is Tennessee State.
Yeah, the OVC. Shout out to them. Nolan Smith. Done a hell of a job. Got to give him a lot of credit. Year 1 to do that.
Versus
Unbelievable.
Wright State. Okay.
Boy, that 4-5 is going to be a doozy. Let me see how I did on that region, by the way. So, Michigan I had as a 1. I did have UMBC as a 16, but not in the play-in. That doesn't matter. I had Howard as well. Georgia I had as an 8. St. Louis I had as a 10. They were a 9. Texas Tech I had as a 5. Akron I had as a 12. Alabama and Hofstra I had right. Yeah, I mean, I did pretty well in that top half except for St. Louis.
Are you gonna win bracket matrix?
No chance. No.
What do we pay you for the big bucks for?
Yeah, but the bracket matrix is all scoring.
So I want to say so far I like the chalk. I like the 3-1 seeds for the Final Four.
Miami, Ohio, SMU, Tennessee, Virginia. I had Virginia as a 4. Okay. That was my first 4, so that's fine. Everything else I had right. I had Santa Clara as a 10. So,
I kind of like Iowa State's draw. And John is a resident TJ Oxelberger fan as well. Iowa State would play Tennessee State, then they play the winner of Kentucky and Santa Clara. Then they probably play either Virginia or Tennessee. I think Virginia is phenomenal.
They can be teams.
Yeah.
So I love
Virginia. Iowa State would be a great game. That would be a fun game to watch.
I like this draw.
Two of my favorite coaches.
A lot.
You like the draw for who, Andrew?
For Iowa State. I really think Iowa State set up to go to the Elite Eight. I do. And remember, Blake Buchanan is on Iowa State. He played at Virginia. So there's a little caveat in that game as well.
Yeah.
I'm fully expecting Iowa State to get there, though.
Iowa State gives Michigan a tough game, too.
Oh, yeah. No, Iowa State's really good. What worries me with Iowa State is just Michigan is so long at the rim. I just don't know if they have the finishers to do it.
That's kind of been their problem.
So typically every year there's a 12 and a 13 that win in the same region and play each other round of 32. Just traditionally speaking.
Akron and Hofstra would be the one.
Akron and Hofstra, I think, could be.
Yeah, I think that's the most likely.
Yeah.
I think Akron is really good, and Texas Tech, I think, is what? They're 4-4 since Toppin went down. 4-5 if you include the game they lost against Arizona State, but Toppin basically played that game. They're 4-4 without Toppin. Anderson is banged up. We don't even know his status. As Andrew said earlier, they're going to say he's healthy to help with their seeding. I don't know if Hofstra beats Alabama, but Hofstra's defense is great. I think they could really slow down Alabama a little bit to not let them play the normal game. And Hofstra has size. They have 2 legit 7-footers. So that'll be interesting.
And they have an absolute stud, baller bucket.
Cruz Davis.
Yeah.
With Preston Edme. Do you understand how many good backcourts we've seen? Duval and March?
But the draw sucks. I mean, you get Alabama with Aiden Holloway and LeBaron Philon.
Yeah, I agree.
That is such a hard draw. I would have been fine if they had gotten another 4 seed. If they had gotten Vandy or something, I would have been so much better. But the fact that you're getting that backcourt is brutal for Hofstra. It's going to be a high-scoring game. It'll be a lot of fun to watch. That's for sure.
Conrad, what do you think? Because for the magazine, you wrote the SEC. I mean, I don't know how much you know about Hofstra, but them in Alabama.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm with Andrew. I mean, I think I would ultimately I would still pick Alabama, but to what extent they can control that game really, again, depends on just how much their backcourt is clicking. Because we've seen it. We've seen it throughout the season when it's one of them. If it's both of them, it's an easy win. If they're both going off, but even if just one of them, Philon, Holloway, I mean, they just consistently just find ways to crack zones and everything like that. I feel like they should. I think that would be a complete massive upset. But as for the rest of this part of the bracket, I'm interested to see what Tennessee can do. Just because, again, in my opinion, they're a bit of a high variance team, that may or may not be a good thing, but other than that, going back to it, I think we all feel comfortable saying Santa Clara can potentially pull the upset. I don't even know if that's necessarily an upset at this point. I mean, Kentucky they don't have the guard play at all. Even when they were healthy, you could make an argument they didn't really have the adequate guard play, at least at this level. At this point, I don't know. I mean, even when they're shooting hot, I mean, their inability to move the ball consistently, I just don't really see them making it out of the opening weekend.
Florida is the last 1 seed.
Yeah, not surprising. They have games in Tampa. It's going to be a huge advantage for them. Not totally shocked by that.
For what it's worth, there's already point spreads up. Alabama's a 13.5-point favorite over Hofstra right now.
I want to know what that over is.
They don't have over-unders yet.
Oh my
I'm
god,
dead
that
just
over is
point
gonna
spreads.
be high.
Prairie View, A&M, and Lehigh. Lehigh is going to upset Florida. At Lehigh at the Patriot League Championship, they were chanting, "We want Duke." They didn't get Duke.
What's the line for Kansas and Cal Baptist?
Kansas and Cal Baptist. Let me look. Hold on.
Probably,
And we have
probably at least
Clemson
like
versus
that.
Iowa.
So I'm going to say this is my first surprise coming up here. I don't know if anyone's seen it yet.
Vanderbilt being a 5.
That is a little surprising to me. I thought they would have been better. They clearly didn't get the respect that I thought they deserved. And they just drew a 12. That is about as dangerous as it gets.
McNeese and Vanderbilt. Wow.
That is a
Julian's gonna
brutal-
like that one. He's
that
gonna
is
like
a
that one.
brutal draw for Mark Byington. That sucks.
Conrad is 13.5. Kansas is favored over Cal Baptist.
Okay.
Nebraska is the 4.
So Nebraska or like this to me is the pod where it gets open to me.
Nebraska's a 4. Didn't you have him as a 3, Andrew?
Yeah, I also had Troy as a 14, and they're now a 13.
Troy's the 3rd. Ooh. Troy's going to beat Nebraska.
I'm surprised at the way this bracket's being done. Oh well, the 6 isn't shocking, but everything else is a little
Okay.
strange to me.
This is a brutal bracket so far.
UNC is the
I don't
6.
like the seating at all. The way this is going
Uh-uh.
outside of Florida, really.
North Carolina is the 6.
Yep.
They'll be playing.
Well, they have to play VCU because that's the last 11. It would
Oh.
be VCU.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the last 11. So,
Who's favored in
That
this
would
game?
well, I know who you're taking, John. Don't worry. And it ain't North
I'm
Carolina.
a VCU guy. I'm a VCU guy.
I know you are.
He's
I
a
know
Phil
you are.
Martelli guy.
I
Phil
know.
Martelli Jr.
hmm
And Penn, I'm assuming, is going to be this 14 that's coming up.
I would assume so.
So it's going to be Illinois and Penn, I'm guessing. Let's see.
I would agree with you.
John, Penn is going to upset Illinois. Illinois played to the pressure this year, too. Illinois is the 3. Give me Penn. Give me Penn as the 14. Penn!
It is Penn. Terrible matchup for Penn. It's awful. I would have rather them play Nebraska, but it's fine.
Okay, so then we have 4 teams left. We have the 7 and 10 and 2 and 15. St. Mary's, Conrad's Gales
Ooh.
Conrad, this matchup is going to be quite interesting. Let me tell you.
against Texas A&M.
Oh my God, that is a good one.
Bucky Ball, baby.
Bucky Ball versus Randy Bennett. Oh my
Oh,
God,
no.
Houston.
that is
This is
polar opposite.
I was gonna say this is. I was like writing up their team preview. I'm like, yeah, this is not conducive.
This bracket.
Idaho.
By the way, I love this for Houston. Absolutely love this draw. I mean, you get St. Mary's and then potentially Illinois. They can slow them down. And then they get Florida. I mean, and you're playing at home. I mean, like, does it get any better for Houston, really? Yeah, my seating got screwy there, but I believe I got all 68 right. And I did. How about that?
Right.
How about that? We got every team incorrect. Seeding was a little screwy. I was off
That's
one
neat.
seed line for some teams, but I got everybody right. Auburn was left out.
See, that's why I asked you earlier about if you had Arkansas as a 4 seed, even after
Yeah,
you
they
know, the
were
results
so
today.
tough.
Because I
They were
wanted
so
to know if you thought. My follow-up question was, do you think it's
Yeah.
going to affect Vanderbilt's seeding? And I guess
Yeah, well,
technically
it clearly did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it clearly did. I'm shocked Vanderbilt was a 5.
I think that's
I think that's a terrible thing
Yeah.
for my minds. And
It's got to be on the name. You know what I mean? Like it's got to be
yeah.
on the name.
I mean, Nebraska also I thought should have been a 3. Nebraska they
Yeah.
wanted Illinois. I mean, and it's almost like, okay, you're a brand name. We're going to lower you a seed.
Mhm.
I just, I knew that last 3 seed was going to be tricky between Nebraska and Virginia. I knew it was going to be tricky there. Because Virginia's been unbelievable. I mean, what Ryan Odom's done is amazing. But
Kentucky is minus 3.5 over Santa Clara for what it's worth.
Oh, I'll take Clara at plus 3.5. to
Yeah.
cover. Yep,
Give me that and the money line. Yeah.
I'll take Clara. You know what? I only want to see Clara win just because I want to see Kentucky fans go absolutely ballistic when they lose to a mid-major team.
Okay.
Calling for Pope's
This-
head.
This current state of the Kentucky Wildcats are not
Oh.
necessarily a better team than this current Santa Clara Broncos, right? Like
I agree.
in this condition that they're in. So they have a built-in excuse, right?
So by the way, the first 4 out, just so you guys know, they just showed it on the screen. So it's
see
Oklahoma,
it.
Auburn, San Diego State, and Indiana. So I
So
have New Mexico.
Auburn wasn't even the first team out. Miami,
Uh,
Ohio was the last team in.
I guess so. I don't know if that's in order.
I look. They usually do it in order. I don't know.
Yeah, so then Miami, Ohio was the last team in, I guess. But that's because they're
Can you
quality.
imagine that debate?
Oh my god.
Like, guys, we have to let Miami Ohio.
Those are Prairie View
Feels like
versus
this is
Lehigh.
shit.
That's Julian's
Yeah, that's-
2 teams.
Yeah, Julian can discuss Prairie View, A&M, and Lehigh because those are his 2 leagues.
Yeah.
Julian texted our group chat after they announced the last region. Bro, that Michigan bracket is so fucking weak. The top half.
I haven't even looked at the bracket.
That's his official analysis right there.
Okay, so I'm pulling up right now the
Midwest.
bracket, the entire bracket. I don't know. It's probably going to be real small.
It's probably tiny. That's all right.
So, Steven, check this out, dude.
Hi.
My friend of mine got tickets for us to go to Greenville second round Saturday.
Nice.
I get the Duke draw. They're playing Saturday, second round.
And you're going to see
and
UNC.
and
UNC
Carolina.
VCU and Illinois Penn.
There you go. So you're going to
Winner of
Greenville?
Illinois Penn. Yeah, I'm
You
going to
gonna go?
Greenville
Nice.
Saturday, the second day. Yeah, second round, 21st.
Okay,
So
so the bracket is
bracket for me.
processing. I'm trying to add it, but it's
Yeah,
taking.
I'll be watching it from the comfort of my home. I will not be going to Philly. So
It would break my heart to see Keaton Wagler just go like 46 against UNC.
I mean, there's a non-0% chance that's happening now.
I know.
oh yeah, no, it's literally non-zero. I mean, it's gonna.
Yeah.
I want to see the Keaton Wagler Kingston Flemings matchup.
I hope it happens.
If they make it that far, me too. It's
Yeah.
like the battle for like the number 5 pick in the draft, maybe.
Okay. How well can you guys see that? Probably. That's blank.
It's
It's
blank.
blank.
We could see it good enough to see that as blank.
Yeah, it's good enough to see that it's blank. But yeah, you know, I'm gonna be honest. I don't really love a lot of upsets in this bracket right now. I don't really see much.
In the South, I do.
That's Florida's bracket.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
That's probably that's the moment Nebraska and Vandy.
Like maybe Troy.
Texas A&M has a good shot over St. Mary's.
St.
You know,
yeah.
we talked about that. I just
Yeah, I'm just curious how Bucky's gonna handle Randy Bennett's slow pace and
yeah.
like it's just all contrast of style in that game. The whole
A lot of good coaching matchups.
oh yeah.
I
Dan
mean,
Hurley and Bob Ritchie.
St. Mary's, yeah, they
That's
still
not
play
in Greenville, is it?
super slow pace.
I
They
know.
shoot the 3 ball a lot better this year. They just
They have, yeah.
don't
No,
shoot
it's in
a
Philly.
lot. They don't shoot them very much.
I
You know,
know.
even by relative to their pace, they don't. So, I mean, at a certain point, right? The math is mathing, right? I mean, it's just gonna.
Mary's A&M is going to be a good one because it's just literally contrast of styles. I know Bucky nearly beat Kansas with Samford. What was that last
Yeah.
year or the year before? 2 years ago. I don't know who I'm going to pick in that one. That's really a 50-50 game for me. That's 7-10. There you go. It's better.
I had to share my. I could
you're good.
every PDF to download. I couldn't get.
No, you're good.
Well,
Yeah.
You're good.
so I kind of like Northern Iowa against St. John's.
Yeah, the only reason I would be against it is because St. John's knows how to play grinded out style. They did it against Seton
That's
Hall
it.
twice.
Yeah, they're prepped for that game. That's it.
That's
Because-
the thing. They're prepped for it.
I mean, like, UNI like allows the fewest points
I
per
know.
opponent, like the entire country. 62, I think, 62.1.
Correct. Yeah,
And
I
they still
bet
let way
under.
down.
Is
I don't know if
gonna
St. John's is going to be able to like take advantage of premium possessions. You know, like when you have to score every time you bring the ball down the court.
be- right.
Like I don't know if they, and like I don't think they're a team that's built to like, if it's a 2-minute game, you know, to be able to kind of pull that out and like make the last second shot or whatever and play it in. But still, I don't.
Do we know what John Rothstein named each region?
What
I
John
know he
Rothstein
does
what?
He names each region. He'll be like the region of coaches or something. Like he names each region.
Let me see.
And that's what John
What do
does.
we
I
think is the
never
region
knew-
of coaches?
Yeah, exactly. He always does something.
No, I don't see anything yet.
Um,
So
We got some pretty good coaches in the Midwest.
oh yeah. Yeah, I mean you got Shirts, Hasland, Oates, Barnes. Yeah, no, it's some good ones.
Odom.
I will say keep in
Odom.
mind a play-in
Sindak.
team usually comes out and wins a regular tournament game. That has happened. You know, a
UCLA?
lot.
Yeah.
So right, Syracuse did it too. So just keep in mind, like Texas or NC State could beat BYU. It's definitely a
Oh,
possibility.
I think either one of them could
Oh,
be
yeah.
anybody right now.
You know,
And
I
SMU, Miami, Ohio, could they beat Tennessee?
think Rick Barnes will have his team ready.
Yeah.
I think as long as Amen's healthy, and 100%, I think Tennessee will be fine.
So I actually got
Honestly,
a question
go
here
ahead.
on Twitter. Someone left a comment asking, of the 6 seeds, which 6 seed do we think can go the furthest?
6 seeds.
Yeah.
So that's
So there's-
Tennessee, BYU. Who are the other two?
Louisville
Mhm.
and North Carolina.
And to be clear, this person is a Tennessee fan, but he does not really have a lot of belief in his team.
No, that's fine.
I think it is Tennessee.
I think it's
I think
St.
I think the answer is none. But if you want me to
Yeah.
pick one, I think I would take Tennessee also. Actually,
I mean, I know we're going
Yeah.
to put this in the guide, but looking at it right now, what do you
Yeah.
think is their ceiling?
Tennessee.
Yeah.
Sweet 16 probably. I think Iowa State would beat them.
Yeah,
Um,
I agree.
I think they can beat Virginia if Tennessee can really play that Rick Barnes defensive style that he's used to playing. I think they can slow Virginia down offensively, and it could cause some problems. And Tennessee's going to have the best player on the floor in Gillespie and Ahmed. Like they're going to have those guys. So I would not be shocked if Tennessee got to the Sweet 16. I just don't think they can beat Iowa State.
Yeah.
But I don't like the draw for Carolina at all. VCU is a tough
No,
draw.
VCU's tough.
VCU's played really well. I hate the draw for Louisville. They're getting South Florida. That sucks. You know, and
If
BYU
you
doesn't
get to
have
that, it's Michigan
Saunders.
State. They can't beat Michigan State.
Yeah, and they don't have the two Saunders BYU, so that's really difficult.
And BYU, they would get the winner of Texas, NC State, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Like you don't think
Final
Will
line.
Wade's not going to have NC State ready to go in there and play BYU? Like, come on.
Like, let me ask you a question of what, like, okay, so Conrad, you covered Texas for the magazine.
Yeah.
They fired Rodney Terry, and they hired Sean Miller, and they're in the same spot as last year.
That's correct.
Literally
is
the same spot.
Literally the
Literally,
same.
yeah.
That is insane to me. That they didn't progress at all under Sean Miller.
Well,
It's shocking.
they are. And I wonder, like, you know, now that like the season, like the regular season's concluded,
Yeah.
you know, there seem to be, like I said, the fact that a lot of the players elected not to transfer, you know,
Right.
kind of was like a show of faith in Sean Miller. So I you know, you'd have to imagine that, okay, hey, maybe, right, like that faith, even though the record and quite literally the analytics are almost exactly the same as last
Right.
year, that,
Right.
you know, there's a certain level of maybe chemistry. I mean, I think
That's
I
a
would,
good reframe.
yeah, I mean, I agree though. I think Texas, like if one of these first 4 teams can, you know, make a little bit of a run. I would probably pick Texas.
Me too.
But kind of the same thing though. It really depends, how well are they shooting it? How assertive, not just aggressive, but assertive Dalen Swain is, right? Because at the end of the day, right, he's the only one who can consistently put like pressure on the rim. He's the only one who can consistently like really create and play through contact, get himself to the line. Those are the things that they're going to need. We've seen it. We've seen his highs against some high level competition. We've also seen him kind of, I wouldn't say like float through games, but yeah, just kind of have like a moderate outing, and that can't happen if they want to, like you said, win one of these actual games or even make it out of the first weekend. But yeah, I mean, the thing though is I haven't really heard. I don't know if you have, but I mean, like I haven't really heard any particular like negative locker room discourse from Texas.
Texas? No, I haven't heard that either.
That's why, like, I mean, I think last year they kind of knew that, like, Rodney's, he was done. And I think, like, some players, may have kind of checked out, but here it doesn't seem like that's the case, which, again, from the outside, looking in, we could say, like, they seem to be in a very similar position, but I don't know, right? Their vibes seem to be a lot better for this year's squad, so we shall see. But,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
What's worth noting is that Miami, Ohio, I think they still on broadcast, was the last team in. So if there was another bid stealer, let's say San Diego State beat Utah State last night, Miami, Ohio wouldn't have gotten it. Let's say Dayton beat VCU and VCU was going to get it anyway. One more bid thief, Miami, Ohio would have been out after starting the season 31-0.
Wow.
That's outrageous.
It's not shocking, though.
I'm not saying shot. Yeah, I'm just saying. Like,
31-0, man. I mean, yeah.
They don't care. Again, they don't care because it was in a half-average league. I mean, like I said, like the committee is made up of a bunch of guys who have connections to Power 5 schools, and they only care about the Power 5 leagues. They don't care about the small schools. They're making it clear as day. I mean, it's the school I'm most happiest for is Santa Clara, because I thought they were going to get hosed and go to Dayton. And the fact that they were able to avoid it, I'm very happy for Herb Sendek in that group, because they deserve to not go to Dayton.
For what it's worth, SMU is -8.5 over Miami, Ohio in Dayton.
Yeah, I like Miami, Ohio to cover. I don't love SMU. I like their backcourt, but BJ hasn't played. I don't know where he's at.
Okay.
So.
And NC State's a 1.5 point dog to Texas, just for what since we're on the first four.
Yeah, that'll be tight.
I know Conrad said we had someone asking about which 6 seed goes furthest. UNC is only 2.5 point favorites over VCU.
Not surprised.
That screams VCU is going to win that game.
I was going to say, yeah. I mean, well, yeah. Earlier you're saying like, you don't like too many of the upsets, but I'm with John. I think the South has a lot of some pretty realistic upsets. I mean, we already talked about Texas A&M. I don't really believe that, the seeding may say that they're the underdog, but I don't think they really necessarily are, in terms of like one-on-one matchup. Yeah, given the injuries to North Carolina, I like VCU in that matchup. And again, we assumed, or, we just kind of were operating under the assumption that Troy was going to be a 14 seed, but at 13 against Nebraska, this is their puncher's chance, right? This is what we were talking about earlier. So.
And talk about that. Like McNeese, I wouldn't be surprised if McNeese beat Vanderbilt. Like that's a really tough draw for Vanderbilt.
Would anyone
easily get McNeese Troy?
Yeah.
No.
Would anyone be shocked by that?
McNeese is 11.5 point dogs too to Vanderbilt.
Oh, I like McNeese to cover.
Yeah, but they're such a long team against that Vanderbilt backcourt.
Vandy is so small.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
I'm so worried for Vandy. This is a brutal draw for Vandy. Brutal.
Yeah. I mean, all across the board, but specifically, like McNeese's backcourt, their wing just completely smothers Vanderbilt's, right? It's like, dude. So, I mean, I could. That'd be awesome. McNeese versus Troy. I love it.
Akron's only 8.5 against Texas Tech. Again, we talked about Texas Tech being 4-4 since JT Toppin went out, but that's an interesting one as well. I thought that was notable. That I thought was notable.
Yeah, I mean, that's all going to depend on if Anderson's healthy and how healthy is he. And I think Grant McCaslin's not going to tell anyone. So
No.
it's going to be a guessing game.
Okay. Do we want to do Final Four picks? I mean, again, I'm kind of putting
Sure.
everyone in the spot here.
Sure, why not?
Okay. So that's all one region. Let me start at the top. Andrew, let's start with you.
Okay. So you want me to go game by game here, or you want me to go Final Four? Or what do you want me to do?
I don't know. We probably have time to go game by game because I know Julian's coming
All right.
back on at 10 minutes. We'll probably close the show 7:30. I was gonna go till 8. We don't need to go till 8.
Yeah,
probably
so
so go for it.
so game by game, I'll go Duke over Siena. I love Siena, covered them all year, but I think Duke is too strong. Jerry, I love Jerry, but I'm going Duke. Ohio, I'm going with Ohio State. They're playing really well right now. They're the team I think that really improved their seed more than anyone over the last 2 weeks. I'm going with St. John's, and I'm going with Kansas as well. Sorry to Cal Baptist.
Wait, hold on. Let me try doing one that we
Yeah,
could.
sure.
Oh, mother.
You can probably go on ESPN's and do it that way.
Men's
Easier.
basketball.
You go on the tournament challenge.
bracket. March Madness. Boop, boop, doo, doo, doo.
There you go.
Yeah, the tournament challenge usually they allow you to
Okay.
do that stuff.
Oh my God. Create bracket. Now this is going to be a whole thing. Look. Create a
All right,
bracket.
then you can just
Okay.
go with it.
Now we're in Duke,
Ohio State,
Ohio State, St.
St.
John's.
John's, Kansas.
Okay.
Chalk. Okay.
I'm going South Florida over
Okay.
Louisville, Michigan State,
Okay.
UCLA, and UConn.
Okay. Should we do region by region?
Yeah, so that's probably easier. Duke. I'm going with Rick Pitino. Give me St. John's over
Okay.
Kansas. Michigan State. I want to pick UCLA so bad, but I'm going to go with UConn.
Okay.
I'm going Duke. Oh, this is a tough one. I don't think either of these teams are that good. You know what? I'll go with Dan Hurley. Give me UConn, and I'll take Duke.
Okay. So you had Duke as the first team in the Final Four.
Yeah, I don't love the bottom half of that bracket. But it's
Let's do the South.
okay. Florida.
Okay.
Oh, I'm gonna go Iowa.
Okay.
Oh my God. You know what? I'm gonna go with McNeese, and I'm gonna go with Nebraska.
Okay.
I'm gonna go. Oh my God. I'll go VCU. I don't trust Hubert Davis. Illinois. Wow, this is really hard. I'm gonna go. You know what? Give me St. Mary's. I think they're gonna slow them down. Give me Randy, and I'll take Houston.
Okay.
Florida. I'm gonna go with Nebraska. I don't want to, but I can't. I don't have the balls to put a 12 or 13 there. I just don't. Illinois,
Okay.
Houston, St. Mary's will get smoked.
You went very
Florida.
chalky.
Yeah, no kidding. Florida, Houston. Oh boy,
Rematch of the national championship last year. I love it.
Houston.
Yeah.
Houston gets their revenge.
I
So
love
Houston
Kingston
and Duke.
Flemings in that matchup. Give me Houston.
Okay. Let's go to the
Okay.
West.
Arizona.
Damian Lee is going to,
He's gonna
ruin.
get
Your
shredded. Arizona. Wow, it's a tough one. I'll go Villanova. I trust Kevin Willard. Wisconsin, Arkansas. Oh boy. I'm gonna go with the Texas NC State winner to beat BYU. But I think AJ is gonna play really well. Gonzaga, Miami, Purdue. Arizona.
Wildcat versus Wildcat.
Yeah, Arizona. This is a tough one. Because Wisconsin, I'm gonna go with Arkansas. I think A-Cuff's gonna really show up in this tournament. I'll go Arkansas. Gonzaga. Here's my shocker. Give me Miami.
Okay.
Malik Renault, baby.
I think Malik Renault is the best big in that game. I think he's better than Trey Coffin-Ren in that game. This is gonna be crazy. I'm gonna go Arkansas over Arizona in a major
Wow.
upset.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Gonzaga. I can't believe I have Gonzaga in the Elite Eight. I hate this already. And I'm gonna go with John Calipari. Give me Arkansas. You know what? I
Okay.
love A-Cup. I love their length. It all comes down to Travion Brazil. If
Exactly.
he shows up, they're going far. If he doesn't, they're done early. Like that's just how it
Just
is.
saw it in the SEC tournament.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So we have Duke, Houston, and Arkansas. Then let's do the
I
Midwest.
hate this bracket. Michigan. I'm gonna go with St. Louis. I think they figure it out. Wow, it's a tough one. I don't know how healthy Anderson is. That's the problem. You know what? I'm gonna take Texas Tech. I'm gonna trust McCaslin. Alabama. I hate this for Hofstra. It sucks. Tennessee, Virginia, Santa Clara for sure. Just for the shits and giggles, I'm taking them. Iowa State, Michigan. Alabama. I think they're backwards. Handle it. I'm gonna go with Tennessee. I think Virginia is gonna get slowed down by Rick's defense. I'm gonna go Iowa State. Michigan, Iowa State, Michigan.
Okay.
I don't love Arkansas for what it's worth, but I think it's Arkansas or Arizona. I think whoever wins that Sweet 16 game is in the Final Four. That's my take. Okay, now.
I like it.
Oh, this is going to be hard. Houston over Duke. I think the injury to Caleb Foster is going to be a problem in this game.
And Ngongba's hurt right now.
Yeah, he'll play, but he's not 100%. Wow. Acuff versus Cadeau. That is funny. I'm going to take Michigan. I'm going to take Michigan. I have to ride with them with what they've done all year. I feel bad for Kelvin Sampson if he loses 2 in a row. That's going to suck. I just think it's hard. I mean, I'm a little worried about Yaxel now because he got hurt in that game and he slipped a little, but I think he's all right. I'll take Michigan.
Okay. So Andrew's Final Four. Michigan over Houston with Duke and Arkansas in the Final Four.
Yep.
Nice.
Okay. So
Don't look Arkansas.
$1 billion bracket right there.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
well, I refreshed it and it's gone. So
That's fine. Doesn't matter.
John is up next, and then Julian's backstage. So, John, make your bracket real quick, just like Andrew did. Then we'll get you out of here and have Julian join.
Sounds good. Bigger name on the other line.
I know you're going to have Duke.
I think TCU.
Okay.
St. John's,
Okay.
Kansas, South Florida,
Poor
Michigan
Louisville.
State. Give me UCF, UConn.
Wow. UCF. Love it. Love it.
Johnny Dawkins.
He's got a hell of a game.
Duke.
I would hope so.
This is a tough game for me.
That's a tough one. I had a tough one. I don't know.
One of these teams is going to play like shit, and the other one's going to play great, but I can't tell which one it's going to be. It's going to be a blowout. I don't know who's going to win. Who's going to be the on the good end of it. Let me give it Kansas.
Okay.
Which actually I don't like. I don't like the matchup with Kansas against Duke, but Michigan State, UConn. This is a pretty chalky bracket. I mean, I know I'd pick 2 upsets like that, but and then Duke. Whoever Duke plays is going to be like a classic Duke tournament matchup, either Michigan State or UConn. These are like my least favorite tournament teams in the whole world.
Me too.
So this went around. Let's give it UConn
Okay.
and then Duke Final Four.
Okay. Let's go down to the south.
Pretty much what I had.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think Andrew had St. John.
Florida.
I just
Yeah.
had St. John's over Kansas. What about
Yeah, that was it.
you?
Go Florida, Clemson, Iowa. This is a Bradska ball, right? Because I think Clemson is
Yeah.
either going to lose in the first round or they're going to make it to the Sweet 16. But I like Bennett starts Iowa. I got to go.
That's why I did it. It's because they have the best player on the floor.
Yeah. And then I might flop. Let's go Vanderbilt, Troy.
Okay.
VCU, Illinois, A&M, Houston.
Okay.
And then Florida. I love this Vanderbilt Troy game. I go Vandy, Illinois, Houston.
That sucks for Florida if they get Vandy.
That
That
sucks
sucks.
for Florida. I think Vanderbilt might win that game too. Let's go
They beat them
Vanderbilt.
once.
Yeah. And I'm going to give some love to Illinois. Illinois.
Okay. Illinois Vanderbilt in the Elite Eight.
Illinois. Final
Yeah.
Four.
Your two favorite teams this year.
Yes.
Okay, let's go to the
So we
West.
know. So we know if Iowa State's a winner.
I was
So
going to say,
let's-
John,
bias.
Iowa State's going to be in the Final Four as well.
right.
Okay, John, let's go to the West.
Arizona, Utah State, Wisconsin, Arkansas, Texas State winner, Gonzaga.
Don't pick against Malik Renault. Come on, man. You love that
Yeah, I love Malik Renault. You know who I like. So even Andrew knows my guys now.
guy.
Miami, Purdue.
Gotta pick mine.
I want to pick Utah State so bad. Arizona, Arkansas, and then Gonzaga. I don't like it when it gets down here either. Purdue with Arizona, Purdue. And we can let's put Arizona in the final.
See, I don't like these three seeds like Gonzaga, Michigan State. Like I hate this. It's awful.
None of those teams are that great.
No, stop.
Michigan, Georgia, Texas Tech. Yeah. Texas Tech, Alabama. And Tennessee. If I knew that SMU was healthy, that would be such a dangerous game for Tennessee, though.
Yeah.
Uh,
John's a Boopy
Virginia. I am a Boopy Miller guy. Going way back to Wake Forest.
yeah.
Santa Clara, Iowa State, Michigan, Alabama, Virginia, Iowa State. Oh God, am I gonna have Iowa State in the Final Four for real now that I said this?
Yeah, you are. That's what I'm
John's
saying.
two
No.
favorite teams this year: Duke,
No,
Illinois, and
I don't
Iowa
think you
State.
could pick them over Michigan. Michigan's too good.
I can't pick Michigan. Pretty much anybody over Michigan. So we're going Michigan. I'll do Michigan over Iowa State.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. See, I like this Final Four. This is nice.
You ready to pick against Duke yet?
I'm feeling it. I'm thinking about it.
John's thinking right now.
I don't
If
wanna
Duke and
jinx
Michigan
it.
get a rematch, could Duke win again?
That's what I want to see. Let's do it. Duke, Michigan rematch.
I mean, that's honestly
And Duke
Very-
beats Michigan.
Duke wins.
again?
Duke beats Michigan in the under hits. Yeah.
in the under hits. Okay.
That's it. Bet
I,
the under.
I'm most fascinated to see what Conrad does because he has like no biases towards any teams
Okay.
at all,
Wait,
other than like
well,
Santa Clara and St. Mary's. So I'm
We-
so curious to see
Now,
how
now
Mercenary.
that it's not, if it's not going to be memorialized forever, I think that Duke probably loses to Illinois because I think they'll get in foul trouble against the bigs,
Yeah, it's gonna be an
Mirkovic
issue.
and Ivisic brothers. And
Julian, what the hell happened?
trouble.
What's up, Julian?
Hey,
Anyway,
I was watching John pick his bracket. That was great.
yeah.
Okay. So, Julian, you weren't here for the bracket reveal. Anything that surprised you? I know your Auburn team didn't get in.
Yeah, I know. I'm so bummed about that. Only real surprise, I'll be honest, I never liked Purdue. I'm surprised that they're a 2 seed.
Well, they just won They just beat Michigan today and won the Big Ten.
Yeah, I know. I'm
That's-
still.
I'm saying
surprised.
that's why they won.
I-
Yeah.
I know, and I think that's the only one that really was kind of surprised. I'm not surprised by the field at all. I do want to say shout out Andrew because Andrew
He got 68 for 68.
he got the
Damn.
whole field right, and seating wise, he was pretty.
close.
I was pretty good other than Vandy. Vandy was like the curveball for me with the 5. But other than that, I was like 1 or 2 like spots off every other like some of the teams. But honestly,
Yeah.
I feel like I did better. I did better than last year. So
Yeah, so I just wanted to shout that out. I like a lot of these matchups. I think I texted in our group chat. I think that Michigan bracket is unbelievably weak. Um,
So that's
what they came in as what the 3
Soft.
seed. They came in as the 3 overall seed
I don't know. I know Duke was
I don't
number
know.
overall.
because I know Florida's the 4 seed.
So probably
But-
Arizona was the number 2 overall. and
Arizona
Michigan
was probably the 2, but Michigan's bracket. Oh my god! I actually, I know John's a big Duke guy, but I think Michigan was the best team in the country this season.
I think they were. I think that's. I think John would admit that, even though Duke beat
Yeah.
Michigan.
And I'm not saying
Yeah.
Duke doesn't deserve to be number
Yeah.
1 seed. I think they absolutely do. But I think Michigan was the best team in the country this season, and I think their bracket shows they got treated like it.
Yeah. They're the
overall.
unofficial number 1. Like there was nothing to take Duke out of the number 1 overall seed because they won the conference tournament and all that. But like,
This
I would
is
much rather be in Michigan's bracket.
Yeah, I think Duke has a significantly tougher road.
Yeah.
Especially with what's just casually hanging out with 2 of the best coaches of all time in the sport, just casually hanging out in the bottom half of that bracket. They're waiting for them, and Rick Pitino.
3 of their all-time arch nemesis.
Yeah,
And-
that is I
The blue blood bracket.
usually I joke that Duke gets the easy draw. I think this year they definitely got the short end of the stick.
Am I the only one excited to see the NIT bracket and the Crown bracket?
no, I am
I'm very excited to see who.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
because I bet a lot of teams decline those bids because they want to get their rosters ready for next year.
Yeah. Okay. Julian, do you want to do your bracket now, or do you want to hear Conrad's first?
I'll do mine.
Okay.
Conrad can go last.
Okay, that's-
I'm gonna
Julian
hop off
will
real
go.
quick, man.
The suspense.
Julian will go. Conrad will go. I'll go. Oh no, Julian will go. I'll go. Then Conrad will go, and we can finish up early.
Wow, you just booted Conrad after yourself. That is.
Wow.
You said you wanted Conrad to go last.
I didn't expect you to listen to me.
Okay, well, I'm listening. You have some pull around here.
Apparently.
Okay, Julian, ready? Start with the East.
All right, let's see. Sienna for no, I'm just kidding. I wanted to get John. Give me Ohio State.
Okay. Shout out to Bruce Thornton.
Shout out Bruce Thornton. If you want to check out, I'm not going to spoil. Never mind. I can't do that. Anyway, moving on. St. John's in Kansas. We talked about this Louisville South Florida matchup before we discussed picking South Florida. Give me South Florida.
So far, all three of us have picked South Florida. No one's picked Louisville.
Yeah, I'm not. I can't trust this Louisville team as far as I can throw them. Give me Michigan State. Give me UCLA, and give me UConn.
Okay. Finish up with the East, and then we'll move on.
Okay. I feel like this Ohio State team is tricky.
I think they can give Duke a game, but I don't know if they can beat them.
And the thing is, especially with no Foster, like the guard play that they have right now, I think is really, really going to give Duke problems. So the question is, I'm kind of like talking to myself, and I'm talking to myself out loud, essentially. Like, is Cam Boozer more than superior guard play? Which it's close, but I think he is. So I'm gonna take Duke.
So I'm gonna say he is superior guard play.
Yeah, you could call him that. Oh man, I don't believe in Darren Peterson in March. I'm sorry, I'm taking St. John's. Give me Michigan State. This is very chalky. I was like in my head thinking like, man, John's bracket's chalk, and then my bracket's just as chalky. Give me UConn. St. John's Duke. You know what?
You're going to take St. John's.
Just do it. Yeah.
I'm going to take St. John's. This bracket is going to be the anti-chalk bracket. Give me a fun Big East Elite Eight matchup, and I think St. John's once again wins the rematch. They beat them in the conference tournament as well.
You're St. John's.
I hope that happens. That'd be hilarious.
Listen. My bracket is going to be chaos, and when everything settles,
chaos happens.
When the dust settles and everything's all chalk again this year, I'm going to look really dumb, but that's okay.
It's an annual event.
South.
Yeah, last year Bryant was my.
You had Bryant beating Michigan State.
High Point, baby.
I
We
got
all
one.
had High Point though. That High Point offense against how bad Purdue's defense was, we thought High Point was a lock when we did the guide last year.
I whiffed on High Point and McNeese.
Yeah.
In inverse order. So give me Florida. I agree with what Andrew said. Sert's the best player on the floor. Give me Iowa. I'm going to take McNeese.
You learn from your mistakes?
Yeah, I think McNeese is really, really good. This Nebraska-Troy matchup is so tough because Troy is really good. I think we talked about them being able to give Nebraska trouble. I also didn't realize that Nebraska's never won a tournament game.
Yeah. Never won.
Never
and it's
won
funny because everyone thought they were going to win it this year, and they could very well not win again.
Yeah, you know what? I'm a big vibes believer, so I'm going to stick with the curse and go with Troy.
There's always that 12-13 round of 32 matchup every year.
There's always
has it being this one this year.
And I think these are two very, very good mid-major teams who are capable of doing it. Give me VCU and Illinois. I don't think has anyone picked NC State yet?
UNC, you mean?
Yeah, sorry, UNC.
No.
Okay, I didn't think so. And then give me St. Mary's in Houston.
Okay.
Oh man, I have a gut feeling about Florida that their guard play is going to go out at some point. But like the problem is, it's tough to pick them losing either of these next two games. So I'm going to take Florida. I'm going to take McNeese. Oh man, I really like this Illinois team. I think they're so much fun. Yeah, give me Illinois. Give me Houston. And then give me the championship rematch. And I'm picking Houston this time.
As did Andrew.
That's what I did.
Yeah, I
Flemings is the best guard on the floor. That's the difference.
He's so good. And like I said, when we were talking, when I just mentioned a couple of rounds ago, I think their guard play for Florida gives them up at some point.
It's going to screw up in one of these games.
Yeah. And the question is does Emmanuel Sharp screw things up for Houston first?
Right, with the shot selection and everything.
Yeah.
I agree.
That's the debate. Is do
Him and
Xavier?
Belief Land, who can ruin it first?
Yeah,
I will say, Conrad knows this. The key for Houston is going to be Sinak. If he shows up in any way, Houston can win the whole thing.
Yeah,
Anyway.
I don't have a lot of faith in that, but sure.
I don't either.
I'll agree.
either.
That's
I've waxed a lot
Gary
of
Peterson
poetic.
can lead Kansas to the finals. Yeah.
We've
Yeah.
waxed a lot of poetic about Kristanek. So
yeah. Me and Conrad have had our Kristanek beef.
Oh, I'm sure.
Okay,
Give me-
Julian
give me-
West.
Give me Arizona, and I'm going to be a homer and pick Nova, even though I don't know that they're actually going to win the game. You know what? I picked High Point last year. Give me High Point again.
let's go.
They won't disappoint me twice in a row, and if they do, I'm never picking them again.
For me once, shame on you. For me twice, shame on me.
Exactly.
That's right.
Give me Arkansas. Man, this BYU team stinks, but they have one of the best players in the country. I think one-man teams are capable of getting out of the first round. Give me BYU. Nope, BYU. Yeah. Oh God, I don't want to pick Gonzaga going anywhere.
I didn't believe me. I didn't either.
Give me Gonzaga. I don't want to pick either of those teams in the Sweet 16 either. Give me Miami and Purdue, and then give me a Malik Renault throwback masterclass.
Yes.
Thank you. I picked Miami also.
Jesus, I don't think either of these teams should be in the Sweet 16, but I have to pick one of them between BYU and Gonzaga. Give me Gonzaga, I guess. I won't be happy about it. Give me Arkansas. Give me Arizona.
That Sweet 16 is brutal. Arizona, Arkansas might be the best game of the tournament. I mean, that is so good.
It's so it's like this Arizona team is so good.
I know, but they don't have a star player. That's what scares me. You know, Acuff is unbelievable.
He is. No, don't get me wrong. He is. I just think like, how do they stop?
Yeah, defensively, Arizona's so good.
How do you stop that front court? And if Jaden Bradley has a great game or Koa Pete has a great game, like
Braden Burries
too.
It's a
You go
toss-up
off.
game.
Yeah.
You could name about 8 different guys on that
Yeah.
roster, and I wouldn't have a problem with it. But it's Calipari too. You know what? We're having
Depending
fun.
on who you ask, that means something very differently. So
Yeah.
That is
It's
true.
Calipari, but it's Calipari.
No, but last year, look, he got the monkey off his back, right?
He did. Yeah.
And they went to the Elite Eight with a team that probably
With a
should
10
have made the
seed.
Sweet 16 last year as a 10 seed.
Yeah.
Made it the Elite Eight.
well,
I'm gonna be anti-chalk, like I said I was, and take Arkansas.
I took Arkansas too. Yeah.
And I can't. There's like I know for a fact now that I'm picking them to go to the Elite Eight that they're gonna lose to Missouri on day one. I want to call it now, but I'm gonna pick Miami. And give me Arkansas in the Final Four.
Oh my God.
Okay, Midwest.
Anti-chalk, guys. Anti-chalk.
No, it's fine. I hope it happens. Honestly.
Give me Michigan. Give me SLU. I really like SLU. Like another one where there's like a really tough 12 and a really tough 13. I don't know which one, but I think one of these two, I think either Texas Tech or Bama definitely is going to go down. I don't know which one. I'm gonna say it's Texas Tech that goes down, because they're without Toppin. And then, so give me Bama. I don't think we're gonna have 2 12-13 matchups. Give me UVA and Tennessee. You know who I'm picking for that Kentucky Santa Clara game. It sure as hell isn't Kentucky. And then give me Iowa State.
None of us are picking Kentucky.
We've all picked Santa Clara. We've all picked Santa Clara.
I said this going in. I was like, this Kentucky team stinks.
Yeah, I know they're not. No, I know they're not. They're not that good.
They're not good. They've lost what? I think it was 6 of their last 7. They've lost.
They have 13 losses or whatever it is. It's insane what they've done.
They started the season and their guard play is atrocious. They have
See, if they had Lowe and Quaintance, I'd feel so differently about them. But because they lost those two guys, no, I'm saying like if those guys were fully healthy, right? Like the whole year, like if they were fully
Okay,
healthy
yeah.
for the most part, I'd feel way more confident in them. But the fact that they lost both of them and nobody's really come to the forefront of stepping up, I have no faith in them at all.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, look, I think if those guys stay healthy all season and they have them for I
They're
think
probably a 3 or 4 seed.
I was going to
Yeah.
say a slam dunk 4 seed, and I think
Yeah.
I looked at
Oh,
it
yeah.
a lot differently.
Sure.
Because you have two legitimate go-to guys, but they have
Yeah.
neither. Oh man, Tennessee, Virginia. I'm get. Oh, man. I want to pick Iowa State to lose, but I don't think they will. I think this Iowa State team's so rock solid defensively. So give me Iowa State. Give me Tennessee. And then Alabama, Michigan. You know what? I actually think Alabama gets the brakes beaten off of them in this game. I think this is one of those Sweet 16 games that just isn't close. I just don't see how Alabama has any answers for that Michigan front court whatsoever.
Nope. If you remember, Alabama's losses, a lot of them are against teams that are physical up front. Conrad and I talked about this like 2 months ago. Like, when they lost to Gonzaga, they lost to all those teams. They lost because of the front court problems they've had all year.
Yeah, and Michigan is not a team that you can mess around with in the front court at all. Even good front courts have gotten their asses handed to them by this Michigan team. Oh man, Michigan, Iowa. Give me Michigan, Iowa State. That's going to be such. I know I just like talked down on Iowa State, but that's such a good game. I love. Man, this one's guards versus front court, honestly. And I know Iowa State has Joshua Jefferson, but the Iowa State guards are two of the best in the country, and Michigan, obviously, I think best front court in the country. Guard play wins in March. I'm going to take Iowa State.
Wow.
Just as we all predicted, St. John's, Houston.
Yeah.
This is going to get laughed out of the room in about a week.
Or you could be the smartest guy in the room. I don't know.
There you go.
I think I'm the guy who thinks I'm the smartest guy in the room right now by picking crazy and then looks really, really dumb.
Yeah, but you know what though? I'm okay with it because I'm sick and tired of chalk. So I'm okay with it actually.
I can't stand chalk. So I think Houston's going to win the whole thing. Let me start there. I think this is finally Kelvin Sampson's year. Maybe I'm secretly just hoping for it because I think it would be amazing to see Kelvin Sampson finally win a championship and Houston finally win a championship.
Yeah, he's due.
I was so sad. But like they're a tough champion to pick because they're so fickle.
I know.
Because they're so. I mean, you mentioned it earlier in the year when we were talking during that Iowa State Houston game. Mm-hmm. Ironic that they're both in this Final Four that I've picked here. That like when Sharp's not scoring, when it's not Sharp, Uzin, and Fleming's, like it is
rough.
And you have Sharp about 50% of the time you have good Emmanuel Sharp, and the other 50% of the time you have unplayable Emmanuel Sharp.
I know.
So I'm very nervous having them this far in general because I think one bad game from Emmanuel Sharp can derail them. But I'm going to pick them against Iowa State.
That would be awesome if this happens. Oh my God!
Julian, I might have the same national championship as you do.
Really?
Be careful, Julian.
I know I'm wrong now that Steven picked it. You know what it is?
You didn't nail the national champion last year. I had Florida over Houston, and that's who it was.
Well, maybe I have a chance of being right. But I think this Arkansas-Iowa State matchup, they have two guards that can contain Acuff. And I think if Acuff, I know Malik Thomas is great. I know they have other talented players on that team. But I think if Acuff doesn't will them, it's tough to see them go to the final. I hate picking one-man teams as far as I just did. I like what they have around him, but I also think like in a game against Iowa State that's so defensively sound, I think this is the one. And I know I said Arizona was a game they're going to win, but I think Iowa State has a better offensive punch when they want to. With Jefferson and Lipsy, and yeah, this will be interesting. I'm going to be wrong, but it's going to be interesting.
So let me go. John told me his computer died, so I don't know if he's joining us, but either way, he should go charge his computer. And then we'll have Conrad to finish out the show. I'm going to go Duke. I'm going to go Ohio State. I'm going to go St. John's and Kansas. So far, I think one of you guys picked TCU. I think it might have been John, but otherwise, this has been the 4.
Yeah.
I'm also
St.
going
John's, Kansas is going to be awesome if it happens.
Yeah.
That's a great game.
Great game.
I'm also going USF, which I think every single one of us have gone so far. No one's picked Louisville.
Wait, hold on. Before Conrad, or not to spoil, but are you going to make it a clean sweep? Are we all picking USF?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm ready.
Okay, I'm going to go Michigan State. I'm going to go UCLA just because how Donovan Dent's last, 8 games, he has 65 assists and 5 turnovers. He has 12-1 assist to turnover ratio the last however many games. He's been unbelievable.
I think the way he's playing, and I don't know what you're going to pick for this game, I could low-key see them beating this UConn team.
Yeah.
I actually said that when I was picking. I'm like, I think if UCLA's healthy, they can beat UConn.
Yeah. It's going to come down to how good Dent is playing. And I know Tyler Bilodeau left the game the other day too.
And Demery got hurt yesterday
with
the ankle injury.
And even with Demery, they're not. This is not like the dominant UConn team we've seen in the last 5 years. They're very good. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Duke, Ohio State. As much as I want to say Bruce Thornton might just pull it off, I'm just worried about this Duke team because outside of Cam Boozer, they just don't have that next guy. I mean, Isaiah Evans, but with no Caleb Foster, with maybe no Patrick Ngangbo, I'm worried. I'm going to take Duke reluctantly. I was going to say, it wouldn't shock me if Ohio State found a way to win this game.
That's how I was feeling too when I made that pick.
I got to tell you, Duke's path is not easy at all. They got hosed.
I'm going to go St. John's.
St. John's or Kansas.
As a number 1 seed, their 2 through 5 is unbelievably difficult. Honestly, outside of Louisville, their top 8 seeds, I'd say, are unbelievably difficult.
Michigan State and South Florida. I want to take a shot at USF because I just think they're that athletic and that skilled. But I feel like I'm always betting against Tom Izzo the last 4 years, and I've been wrong every single time.
I'd never bet against Tom Izzo. I've learned that.
Well, you know what the problem is with Michigan State is they really don't have a star player.
And that's why I never liked them. I guess.
Fierce is
player
good
last year either.
Yeah, I mean, Fierce can play. He's obviously really good, and Cohen Carr is really athletic, but they really don't have a lot. It's just Izzo finds ways to win games. It's just he's a master at it.
Jackson Kohler is the most, shockingly good big white dude in the NCAA of all NCAA teams.
I'm going to take Michigan State, but I'm also going to take UCLA.
Ooh.
There it is.
I like UConn, but I really think this UConn team is susceptible to getting upset. Really,
I agree.
And UCLA is peaking at the right time.
That's a good pick.
Yeah,
I just don't think UConn's that good. I mean, Demery's been such a disappointment for them. He's been so erratic. I just don't know what you're getting. I listen. I give you credit for picking UCLA. I'm not doing it, but good. I give you credit.
I'm going to take Duke, even though I think they could lose to Ohio State. I think if they get past Ohio State, they'll beat St. John's. I'm still probably going to end up with Duke in the Final Four, if I'm being honest.
Boo.
I know. Michigan State, UCLA is a tough one.
They just played each other.
I know. I think I'm going to go Michigan State, but then I'm going to go Duke.
Boo, Chad.
You know what's amazing? Everyone is so worried about Duke, yet everyone has Duke going pretty far. It's crazy.
Yeah. Florida.
I think it's the best player in the country. I think people are afraid to pick against them.
Yeah.
I mean, I am.
I am too.
I'll admit it. I certainly am.
I'm going to go. Ooh, McNeese for Vanderbilt is a sick game. That's going to be the game of round one.
I think that might be the best 5-12 game of the tournament.
Yeah.
Or we're all wrong and McNeese gets the brakes blown off.
Vanderbilt's good.
No,
Like, it
Vandy's
would
good.
not shock me if Vanderbilt killed McNeese. But same
The
thing, it would
problem-
not shock me if McNeese beat Vanderbilt
The
either.
problem with Vandy is they're just so small.
Yeah.
They're so small.
I think I'm going to go with McNeese, but I know it's not wise to bet against Mark Byington either.
No, it's not.
It's not.
Nebraska and Troy, I'm going to go Nebraska. And
Curse is
they're
broken.
going to win their first ever game
All
Which
right.
means they're gonna. You know what it
See
is?
history.
They're gonna win their first 6 NCAA games all in
And-
a row
cut down the nets.
and cut down the nets.
They'd be the first team to ever win the crown and then win.
How about this?
Yeah,
If they put the Nets down, I'll leave the center hub. Okay? If they win it all, I will
wait,
leave.
wait. But we don't. But that's not a good bet. We don't want you to leave the center.
But Nebraska ain't winning, so you don't have to worry.
BCU over UNC.
It's a joke I want to make right now.
Have any of us taken UNC?
No,
Nope.
no one's
Jeez.
taking UNC.
Illinois over
I wish they had Caleb Wilson. I
do
wish
too.
they had Caleb Wilson.
Yeah.
God,
They'd be a
so
4 or
good.
3 seed if they. Had
They would be so dangerous if they had Caleb Wilson.
I'm going to go St. Mary's, and I'm going to go Houston.
I want to know what
I
the
don't want to
over-under
go
would be.
Iowa over Florida. Am I out of my mind?
No, I was
Yes.
thinking about it too.
No, you're crazy, because and I'll tell you why. Because Iowa
Okay.
doesn't have anyone good outside of Bennett Sturts on their roster.
Alvaro Fulgaris.
He's
Oh
not-
no! How dare you blaspheme Alvaro?
No, I will absolutely say it. Outside of Ben McCollum and Bennett Sturts, I literally trust no one on their team.
But like Florida's not like
Florida's going to dominate up front. with-
Yeah,
with-
they're going to
with
just
Al
every
Conley.
rebound they're going to get.
Like they're just going to get every rebound. They're probably going to miss 25 threes in that game because Iowa's going to grind them out and Florida's going to beat them anyway.
Do you know
I'm
That
going
could
to
be
take
Florida's
Florida.
bad game.
I'm going to take Florida, but I don't know if it's as easy as Andrew saying it is.
I agree with.
No, I'm not saying it's going to be easy. All I'm saying is I think Iowa will try to grind them out, right? They're going to play slow. And Florida's going to get 50,000 rebounds. And the question's going to be, if, like Julian said, if Florida hits a bunch of threes or not. If that's their off night, it's possible. And I could see that being their off night because Iowa's good defensively. But I would still take Florida.
They also have 2 very erratic guards.
Correct.
Could
agree.
McNeese beat Nebraska?
Yes.
Yes. Hypothetically, they could.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to go Illinois, and I'm going to go Houston.
I want to know what the over-under is in Houston St. Mary's. That's going to be so low.
65.
What's that, like 110?
Yeah, I was gonna say it's got to be like under 115, man.
Oh my god, that is a
Under
straight grinder. Oh my god.
I'm going to take Florida.
Yep.
I'm going to take Houston. I was thinking Houston, Iowa State national championship. Then Julian did it, so I think he might have sold me on it.
Damn right I did.
So Houston having to go through Illinois and then Florida is going to be incredibly difficult. But if there was a coach that could find a way to do it, it would be Kelvin Sampson.
I think that Illinois game is actually an easier game than you might think.
Yeah.
Houston's path to win it all: Idaho, St. Mary's, Illinois, Florida, Duke, and then whoever I have them playing in the national championship. That is incredibly difficult.
That is.
But again, it's not easy to win national championship. I understand that.
But I agree with Julian. It comes down to Emmanuel Sharp.
Yeah.
Like, does he take shots like he's Steph Curry, or does he actually take shots that he's supposed to take?
Yeah.
Arizona.
How many efficient nights does Emmanuel Sharp have, or how many
Not
0
many-
for
not
16
many.
nights does Emmanuel Sharp have?
Yeah.
Sorry, Nova. I went Utah State.
You're not a good homer.
I picked against Penn too, and Lehigh.
You hate PA.
I'm a Pennsylvania hater.
He
No,
didn't hate PA today when Penn won.
He didn't. He was going insane.
Lakers.
He almost. By the way, Steven always does this. Sorry to interrupt.
okay.
Steven, games are 2 halves. Stop texting us right before halftime and telling us like excited like the team that is in the lead is going to win. Steven, the game is not over.
Penn was up at halftime and Penn won, so nonsense.
How much were they up by at halftime, Steven?
2.
Okay, there you go.
High Point in Wisconsin.
just
Wisconsin
telling
is
you,
really good, but High
Those two
Point,
guards at Wisconsin are so good.
Yeah.
Boyd and Blackwell.
yeah.
Oh, God, so good.
I think I'm going to go Wisconsin, but that game's going to be a super fun game as well. Going to go Arkansas over Hawaii. Poor Hawaii. All of us are taking Arkansas,
I
but
know. Hell of a season.
BYU.
Listen, the West Coast guy has a chance to represent himself if he picks Hawaii.
I think I'm going to go BYU. And I hate that pick. I trust Kevin Young and DeBonster more than I trust Sean Miller and Dalen Swain or Darion Williams and Will Wade.
I agree with that.
But
You know,
like,
this
Swain is
part of the
Dalen-
bracket, like this bottom pod here, I hate more than anything else.
I could see
Like-
any of the I think there's 5 teams that could come out of this part of the bracket.
Like, I'm really talking myself into Miami. Seriously. Like,
So am I. Gonzaga, Miami, Purdue, Miami, BYU, Miami.
Miami.
I see. I already saw 3 of you guys fill it out, so I was filling out in my head already. I think Miami's going to the Elite Eight.
Weird.
I really like Miami.
BYU's either losing this game against Texas NC State or they're going to
on a
lose.
run.
Yeah.
Right.
DeBonska getting on a roll would be very fun.
I think Wisconsin could beat Arkansas. Let's do it.
They can. Their guards are really good.
They can.
And I'm going to go to Arizona in the Final Four.
Chalk.
Okay.
1-1-2.
Honestly, your Final Four is the most realistic so far.
Let me get Michigan. Yeah, but I have Miami.
I think Miami can get to the Elite Eight, though.
Nice.
It sucks.
Going to go SLU.
Every,
What did you say,
Yeah.
Julian?
I was gonna say every chalk pick that you make, I'm gonna make fun of you.
Akron. Because
Wow, you're going against McCasland? Are you serious? That's your boy.
he is my boy. But, like, if JT Top was playing, I wouldn't be going against him.
No.
If I knew Christian Anderson was healthy, I wouldn't be going against him. But, like, they're 4-4 since top in towards ACL. Akron's peaking. Akron's good. They went 17-1 in the
No, they're good. No, they're
No,
really good.
no one's talking about Akron because of how good Miami, Ohio was. Akron's one of the best mid majors in the country.
Yeah,
I
think
want-
they're-
I want to take Hofstra. I wish Hofstra was the one playing Texas Tech.
I
Yes.
agree.
And Akron was one playing Alabama.
Yes, I would feel much better.
Because
about it.
I literally, in the March Madness guide, I don't want to spoil too much, but I literally said, do not mistake this Hofstra team, coached by Speedy Claxton, for an NBA team.
Yeah, they've
Yeah.
got. Well, I mean, we just talked about Alabama.
They have size,
They
they
have
have-
size.
They have size in the middle, they have legit wing depth, and they have a dynamite backcourt. They look like an NBA
Their
team.
backcourt is really good.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if either of these bottom 2 brackets were a 12-13 matchup. To be honest with you,
I'm going Akron Hofstra. I think Alabama wins, but like I think Hofstra is really that good.
I wouldn't be. I was on the fence on that one. That's a close one.
Tennessee, Virginia. I'm also going to go Santa Clara. None of us are picking Kentucky or the
We
Louisville.
all think
Julian said I'm a Pennsylvania hater. We at the Center Hub do not endorse the state of Kentucky. apparently.
No, we're gonna lose fans doing that, Steven. You can't
That's
say
all right.
we hate
Listen, I'll embrace it. Iowa State fans turned on me last year. Let me tell you something. Iowa State fans turned on me last year. I'm ready for Kentucky. I'm absolutely ready.
But this
Okay.
isn't just Kentucky fans. This is the entire state.
The entire
Wow.
state.
I
You
don't
will
give
not
a
be
shit.
able to buy any bourbon, whiskey, anything anymore.
We picked
Because the state
both
of
of
Kentucky.
we picked both of their
Matter.
big teams to lose to
fine.
double-digit seeds in the first round.
Fantastic whiskey from Asia. Okay. So
True.
Japanese whiskey is where it's at, by the way.
Wow,
See,
Hofstra
there you
over
go.
Akron.
That's right. Steve and I
like
had
it.
this conversation.
Michigan and Hofstra in the Sweet 16.
They will get absolutely annihilated.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Not even a fair fight.
I'm not doing it. I'm kidding. Gonna go Virginia. Gonna go Iowa State.
By the way, I would just like it to be known the reason that you're just picking right now, we're going to be at all 4 of these games.
All right.
Yes, we will.
Yeah, you guys got a good
And I'm
draw.
so happy we got Virginia. Ask Andrew. I've been in on Virginia since the minute they hired Ryan. Woodland.
Yeah, I was too. You were more in it than I was, but I mean, I
I
had them
said this
third in the
Virginia
magazine.
team.
So
Yeah, I thought they were a top 10 team in the country. Like the minute he started bringing in that roster.
What are you going to do if they lose to Wright State?
I'm going to leave the center hub, obviously.
Yeah, of course. By the way, Julian, Steven brought this up earlier. You guys are fortunate in Philly. You guys could get Mick Cronin versus Dan Hurley
Yup.
with the press conferences and the officiating with those two.
Oh my God.
Oh,
I didn't even.
That,
So,
Julian,
well, so I-
that is theater.
Julian, you need to ask McCronin if the other team student section bothered him, and then raise your voice at him. Make yourself known.
just become automatically on Mick Cronin's hit list the first time I meet him.
Don't even raise your voice at him. Just like
The good
say
news
something,
is-
and then he'll accuse you of raising your voice at him.
Julian, the good news is you'll be taller than Mick Cronin, so you can just tower over him. So you're good there.
I'm a tall guy.
Yeah, and he's not. So you're
Iowa
good.
State. As much as I like Virginia, I think this Iowa State team is so good defensively,
Yeah.
and with Jefferson, with Milan Muncielovic, like they're such a good shooting team.
I didn't even mention Milan.
Yeah, like Iowa State is good.
Yeah.
The key for them is going to be Lipsy because he's.
I
kind of
was
been a
about to
roller
say,
coaster
is he
at
good to
times.
go?
I think he's going to be good to go. Yeah, as far as I know, I think he's all right. But he's
Well, I mean, he'll have enough
he's
time
the-
to recuperate by then. Like,
yeah.
like-
To me, he's the key. He's the key for them. Like if he gets going and he plays to the level they can go to a Final Four.
yeah.
I think whoever wins this Michigan Iowa State game both of them would beat Arizona and go to the national championship. Okay, I'll feed you in a second. Jesus. Iowa State.
Oh, you're going with Iowa. Oh, well,
I'm gonna go. I think whoever wins between Iowa State and Michigan beats Arizona. I'm gonna go Iowa State. Going to go Houston. Jordan, who'd you have winning it?
I'm not
I think
going
you
to tell
picked
you.
Houston.
Oh, you picked
No, I
Houston because the
I
Kelvin.
think you picked Houston.
I think Iowa State would win against Houston, but I don't think my heart and my fandom of how bad they want Kelvin Sampson to get a national championship. I don't think I could handle Kelvin Sampson losing 2 national championships in a row.
I picked that.
I mean, I'm going to take Iowa State, but with that said,
I think I'm picking.
Right.
I have a sneaky feeling that I'm going to be wrong and that Houston loses very early this year. I don't know why, but I'm going to pick them to win the national championship.
I think Houston's going to have a game where they just struggle to score, and it's going to be against somebody before the Elite Eight.
That's
It's
what
going
I
to be
think.
one of these like struggling scoring games, and it's going to be can they figure it out in crunch time when they can't score?
But I'm very concerned.
All right, this is the bracket I want to see. Give me Conrad. I want to see Conrad's bracket. 'Cause
All right.
Conrad, I'm so fascinated to see how this
Again.
Conrad's the least
The
objective of
least
the group.
qualified bracketologist here on this panel.
No, but you're also the lead. Yeah, but like they're biased to Philly. Like I obviously watch the sport, so
We'll go through this so we
I'm
can.
not biased
wrap
to
up.
Philly. I picked against all the Philly teams.
I,
Oh my gosh.
yeah, go ahead.
All right, so very easy to start with. We'll go Duke, Ohio State, St. John's. I want to make it clear here. I think Cal Baptist will cover. This will be a surprisingly competitive, at least first half. But I got to go with Kansas. Same thing. It's a clean sweep. Everybody picks South Florida. I'm gonna go Michigan State. I really like what UCF is doing. I will still go with UCLA. A lot of reasons, right? No, I'm just saying, like, I do think it's going to be a competitive first game. Like, despite how much momentum UCLA has, I do think this will be a really competitive opener. But in a way, that's probably a good thing for them, right? If they're going to make a deep run, I think they do need to be battle tested. So we're going to go with UConn.
I really hope it's a close game.
Yeah. I'll still go with Duke.
Chalk.
St. John's. Michigan State. And I definitely agree with a lot of you guys, but I don't know. Like, I do feel that Silas Demery, he has stepped up in big moments. I understand how like fans can be a little have a lot of anxiety about like the game to game fluctuations, but I mean, they should handle Furman. They should handle Furman quite handily. So having said that, I think it's a good way to ease UConn into the second round, or like, yeah. So I'm gonna go UConn. I like what they're gonna do here. This is tough because I think you guys at first it was gonna be a Duke, it was gonna be a no-brainer for me, but I think you bring up a lot of good points about like Caleb Foster's absence. I like that Caden Boozer had a big game today, but I don't know how much you can depend on that level of production. I'm not necessarily saying about like his ability to compete. This is probably has less to do with like analytics or rationale. I'm gonna go with St. John's.
Yeah, Conrad.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know, like make no mistake, Cam Boozer, you're absolutely, and I'm a big Cam Boozer guy, but at the same time, this is March Madness. This is not the NBA draft. I feel like this is the type of matchup where Zuby can really exert his will, his physical dominance. And I know it's tough to, kind of put your money on St. John's guards, but I do think that given the state of Duke's backcourt, this is an opportunity for Sinan at least to get downhill. This is the opportunity for Isaiah Sellers to cash in some open threes. So I'll go with St. John's here. This is a tough one. This is a tough one.
I'm going to be honest with you, though. I wouldn't really be surprised if it's UCLA South Florida. Just saying. I don't love Michigan State or UConn. I really don't.
Yeah.
I honestly, on paper, I don't love Michigan State either. I'm tired of betting against Tom Izzo even when his team.
No, me too.
I was going to pick UCLA, but I always bet against Izzo, and I'm always wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. I'm only picking those two teams because of the coaches at the end of the day.
Yeah. Well, mostly I feel like, their defense has been a little bit more consistent. From game to game. That's what it comes down to. Like, I don't know. You can't say that same thing about UConn's offense, So that's why I'm like, okay, well, then again, if this is not, a shootout, which I don't think we projected to be, then I would probably just favor the more, consistent, the more battle-tested team. So I'm going to go with Michigan State there. But if these are the two, then I'm going to go with St. John's.
Just think about that. Rick Pitino, Tom Izzo, Dan Hurley in the same bracket.
That's right.
And Bill Self.
And Bill Self. Oh my God.
And Mick Cronin.
Good God. Yeah, just think about the personalities or lack thereof in that bracket. Yeah. It's crazy to me.
Okay, Conrad, let's do the South.
All right. Florida. So definitely with you guys. I'm going to go with Iowa. We were talking about this when Julian was on, before Andrew joined, and then when Andrew joined, we talked about this. But I just think McNeese's length all across at every position is enough to kind of smother this Vanderbilt team. Not necessarily dominate them, but smother in the sense that they're not going to be able to have that dynamic scoring performance that they've had every now and then this season. So I'm going to go with McNeese. I'm going to go with Troy. I'm definitely, I like
Conrad.
Exactly. So I mean, these guys can D up. We talked about this. They do a great job forcing opponents to play an ugly game.
Yeah,
and when it's an ugly game, they give themselves a shot. So I'm going to go with Troy.
Well,
go ahead, Joe.
I was going to say, I think Nebraska already plays an ugly type of game.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're a very defensive-minded team.
Yeah. I'm going to go with VCU. Same thing, too.
North Carolina.
Tempted to pick Penn, but I got to go with Illinois.
Wow.
I love it.
I am going to go with St. Mary's, but I don't feel good about this. I do really believe this can go either way.
I mean, we talked about it. It comes down to style, right?
Yeah.
Randy Bennett wants to play slow. Bucky wants to go 200 miles an hour.
Yeah. So, speaking of slow, I'm going to go with Houston.
Slow is an understatement.
Yep. And then I'm going to go with Florida. But I do agree with you guys. This is already the part in their path where it starts to get iffy. Because I really don't have as much. Like I like in general. I like Xavier Lee. I like Boogie Flan. I don't really like them together. I haven't at all. We said this during the off season. It still applies now. But I'll get them. I'll still pick them for this matchup. I'm gonna go with Troy over McNeese. Same thing. Illinois and Houston. I think both of those matchups should be fairly decisive.
Conrad, think with your mind, not with your heart.
I'm gonna go with Florida. I'm gonna go with Florida.
Thank you.
Definitely going with Florida. I mean, again, but again, a lot of this hinges really on how well Thomas Haw and Alex Condon come through. Again, and mostly Thomas Haw. I think he's like really the only, I would say, quote unquote, reliable, from a game to game basis.
Ruben Shin-Yalu would like to have a word.
Yeah. This one, I really want to pick Illinois.
Contrast of styles again.
Again, yeah, a real big clash of styles, but for a lot of the same reasons you guys said, Kingston Flemings is probably still the best player on the court. At the very least, he is the one who could exert the most control. He could dictate the pace of the game. Make no mistake, Keaton Wagler, amazing shot maker, great shot creator. I'm not sure that he's at that point yet where he can really, again, dictate the terms of how a game is played. So I'm going to go with Houston. And then, this time Houston will beat Florida.
Yeah.
So I want to go. Okay.
We have the same half of the Final Four.
Okay.
Have you guys considered doing a college basketball pod where you guys all share the same thoughts?
It's called Groupthink, Andrew, and we're really
Apparently.
I had Troy. I picked Troy more often than Julian did, so there's some differences.
That is true. But you also wrote the Sun Belt for the magazine, so you do know a lot more about Troy probably than anyone here.
He does.
All right, we'll take us home here. Arizona, I will pick Villanova on this one.
See, I didn't pick Villanova.
Yeah, Wisconsin. I really wish Hawaii drew somebody else. That's why I didn't want Arkansas to be a 4, but Arkansas. So I'm going to go with Texas here. Well, because I'm going to assume Texas is winning, and I'm going to say, Texas over BYU. Same thing, just a lot more consistent defensively. I agree that Debanza alone can break a game open, but again, there's just so much more variance with their team now, with Richie Saunders out.
Can I add in? They have a positionless player for Texas. They have a guy who just plays Dalen Swain.
I'm going to go Gonzaga.
Dalen Swain.
He plays Dalen Swain.
Miami. Purdue. Going with Miami.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we're all there.
Yeah, going with Gonzaga, going with Arkansas, and going with Arizona. I think all your guys' assessment of Arizona is right, but I don't remember who said it. The fact that Arizona doesn't really have that true definitive number one. Yeah, that number one. Make no mistake, I feel like Burries is kind of having like this little late season stretch.
He's correct. He's the guy. Yeah.
But again, like make no mistake, like he does show like playmaking, like actual shot creation chops, but not to the extent that Acuff does. And in that like game or so where like Acuff sat out, we've seen Malik Thomas have moments where like he can actually facilitate and the offense, and they run it through him. Brazil, Billy Richmond, they're peaking at the right time. So I'm going to go with Arkansas to pull off the upset here. I think Arkansas will beat Arizona. I'm going to take Miami over Gonzaga.
Guys, we're all
I as much as I enjoy this Gonzaga team, they are just, as a team, they're inconsistent. Like, it's great that like one guy, like say like a Braden Huff could have a big game, but then the backcourt gives you nothing. and then another game like Mario and Adam Miller can have a big game, but then the front court gives you nothing. Like, I just don't think they can make a deep run continuing to play like that.
Well, is Huff playing or is he out?
He's out. I think they said the first game or two.
Yeah.
So
Well, like, he
would
might
be
be out
back
longer,
for the
we don't
main
know.
game.
It's
Yeah.
going to be so hard to put him back in at this time
And
of
a
the
big
year.
congratulations to Graham Ike for winning WCC Player of the Year.
Yeah.
The Graham Ike reputation is absolutely real. Like, that you could get under his skin so easily, and he completely takes himself out of the game. I've seen it firsthand now. Like, okay, whoa. If they happen to make it this far, I see him losing his cool. So and again, if he has to have like a bigger load because, say, like a Braden Huff is kind of like still, a little hampered, I don't feel as good about Gonzaga. So I'll take Miami there. And then I'm taking Arkansas. Like I
So we have
said,
the
I mean,
same-
like, again, they're a team that's just peaking at the right time.
Stop copying my
cool.
bracket.
Okay, Midwest.
This is
Last
easy.
one.
Michigan, St. Louis. So I'm with Steven. If JT Toppin was playing, this is Texas Tech easily, but they completely have fallen off, like, in terms of their rebounding, and that works out for Akron. So I'm going to go with Akron. I'm going to go with Alabama. I will go with Tennessee, Virginia. It's clean sweep. I'm going Santa Clara.
I hope so.
Iowa State. So I'm definitely going to go with Michigan and still. So here's the interesting thing, right? Like, Bama is also a
Thinking
very
about it.
bad rebounding team.
Thinking about
And
it.
yes, they shoot the three ball well, but so
Yeah.
does Akron. And Akron
They do.
defends the three ball really well. So I'm going to go with Akron in this one.
Here's the thing. I knew the second you said that you were
Yeah, that's what he sets it up and then he.
So here's
Here's
the
the
thing.
Here's the thing. Okay, Tennessee and Virginia.
To me, this is This is one of the
This
toughest
is a
games.
tough one. I know.
There's a very stylistically similar matchup.
Rick Barnes has been here so many times.
I'm going to go with Virginia. I mean, I like, even though they ultimately lost, I like the way Virginia played in the ACC tournament. I like the way that, like, they were a lot more deliberate with their sets. With Tennessee, like I said, right, they're just such a high variance team. I don't know if they're gonna, like, be able to get, like, all those calls that they benefited from during the regular season. If they allow them to play physical as they normally do during the tourney, then I like Grinlow down low. I like, DeRitter doing his thing, and it may look awkward at times, but I mean that plays to their favor. So I'll go with Virginia on that one. And then Iowa State. Yeah, for a lot of the same reasons. We'll make that easy. We'll go Iowa State. Iowa State over Virginia. And is he listening? Okay.
So here's the
And
thing.
yeah, this is where the fun ends. It's going to be Michigan, right? Michigan.
Michigan or Iowa State.
I really like this Michigan team. This is why I like both these teams. But I buy Iowa State's shot making more than Michigan.
Damn.
You took my final four, you scumbag.
Did
We
Yeah.
have the exact same
Exact
final.
same amount of
You
boards.
absolute scumbag.
And I also have Iowa State over Houston in the
Oh
national
my
championship.
god. That's
Just put
unbelievable.
Iowa State and Houston, and it would be hilarious if it's those.
Let me
two.
guess. Houston's winning the national championship over Iowa State now, huh?
I'm going to go with St. John's over Houston.
Wow.
Whoa. He did
Because-
not hit me.
This is where I think, like, veteran experience is going to play out. And I think Zuby will own that matchup versus Senek.
I agree. You think this is
Oh,
where
I
Emmanuel
agree
Sharp
with you
has the
there.
Emmanuel Sharp game?
Well, that's the thing, right, about Houston, right? It's like they're not a particularly great 3-point shooting team. They can get hot, but I mean that's what St. John's does. They prevent you from getting hot, right? I
They
mean,
do.
so again, yeah, if it's more of a low scoring affair, which it typically is with these two teams, then I like St. John's a little bit more. You know, again, I know Kingston Flemings is the best player in that matchup, definitely the best improvisational scorer. But at this deep in the tournament, they're both great coaches, but I think Pitino will find a way. You know, like they'll come up with some kind of scheme to force those other guys. Now, does that mean Milos Uzan goes off? That's very possible. But you know, for playing the percentages, sure, I'll go with St. John's. I'm gonna go with Arkansas.
I'm praying this happens. Cal versus Pitino on the national stage
That'd be
would be
awesome.
amazing.
Yeah.
And there's no Darius Acuff bias in here, is there?
I mean, you know, I was relatively the highest on him, you know, preseason on the center hub. Okay. He was not even on some of our contributors' boards. Okay, me. I'm
Yeah.
just saying.
Yeah.
But-
There's no sense of that Darius Acuff bias leaking in here at all whatsoever.
And this, no, if anything, I am just more right now. I'm a lot higher. Are they deep? No, but they're functionally deep. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, Iowa State ultimately, they're not going to go past like 7 guys this deep into the tournament. So I like Arkansas's top 6. You know, I mean, obviously they got to stay healthy, but I think they match up well with any of them. They match up well with Iowa State. So I'll go with Arkansas. And to win it, you know, Arkansas. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
Same Final Four, completely opposite final. I wasn't.
I mean, I think everybody has like a compelling case. You know, even like when we're not like just, you know, in all seriousness, I think everybody has a really compelling case for why a lot of these teams could get that deep, get that far, and potentially win it all.
Yeah.
But it's like, you know, Andrew and Julian, you're saying, right? Like there's going to be like that matchup, that awkward, like round of 64, round of 32 matchup where like one of the favorites is going to struggle for some reason, one reason or another.
Yeah, and I really think it's going to be Duke against Ohio State. I mean, I think the Buckeyes can give them issues because of Bruce Thornton and you know, he's going to be the best guard on the floor and against Duke. I really think Ohio State can give them issues. I don't think Ohio State's going to win the game, but I think they can keep it closer than I think people will give Ohio State credit for.
The only 2 1 seeds I would be shocked beyond belief if Arizona and Michigan didn't make it to the Sweet 16. I would be surprised, but I would not be like out of my seat shocked if Florida and Duke did not make it to the Sweet 16.
I would agree that the first, you know, Michigan and Arizona, I think definitely are locks to get there.
Yeah, that's a simple.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah. I would agree. Yeah.
Florida, and I don't know, maybe it's just because, again, like I've been writing about the SEC. I wrote about them again. I wrote about Florida again for the March Madness guy, but they make me like I feel the most nervous about them. Like I can see this being a very, you know, I wouldn't say embarrassing, but a very demoralizing exit. You know,
I think it's different than when UConn was coming back after being the champion as the number 1 seed. They're not bringing nearly as much back, and I think UConn was so good coming back because they had the returning backcourt. Whereas Florida, like the key for them has always and is again this year, like, you know, the depth that they have in the front court, and the amount of bodies that they can just throw at you. You know, they still have all those guys, but there's a big difference between Walter Clayton, Will Richard, and Elijah Martin and Boogie Fland and Xavier Lee. And
Oh, yeah.
the kid, I can't remember his name or pronounce his name. The international kid that they have.
Yeah, the kid who comes off the bench. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But like
Right.
with Florida, I forget where I saw this, so I apologize to whoever came up with the stat. Their shooting progression each month up till now. Like they were the dead last worst 3-point shooting team in the entire country about 2.5, 3 months ago. Now in March, they're shooting 40% from three. So I just think it depends which Florida team you're getting. I think that's what it comes down to.
But that's what makes them so scary, right?
Yeah.
It's the teams that have that level of variance.
Yeah.
Like Michigan all season. I know they just lost in the championship to Purdue. That was a very tight game, though. For the most part, all season has been consistent, right? Like they have not really shown much weakness throughout the year. Same with Arizona. I think both Duke because of the injuries that they're going through, and I think Florida just because of, again, that they've been inconsistent. I think those are the 2 1 seeds that kind of scare me right now in terms of, being capable of busting someone's bracket open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So we went a little longer than I anticipated, but yeah, happy Selection Sunday. I mean, we had to honestly get writing for the March Madness guide, if I'm being completely honest. But we're going to sign off. Follow all of our work at thecenterhub.substack.com. Follow me on Twitter at @the_NBA Eagle. That's NBAGELL. Follow Julian on Twitter at 12J Mendel. Julian and I will be at March Madness, the first 2 rounds in Philly. So we will be there for UCLA, UCF, UConn, Furman, Tennessee, and whoever wins the playing game, in Virginia, Wright State, and then the winners of those games playing each other.
Yep.
That'll be Friday and Sunday. You can follow Andrew at Andrew S Hoops 2. Andrew just did a whole bunch of coverage for us for the Big East tournament, where obviously St. John's beat UConn in the championship. And you can follow Conrad at CP3_777 for all men's coverage, women's coverage, everything above, below, all that good stuff. Yeah, otherwise, go check out our March Madness guide. It'll be out Tuesday morning, so go check it out. I know playing games start Tuesday night. We'll have it out before then. Otherwise, myself, Conrad, Andrew, Julian, we will talk to you guys soon. And thanks for, filling out brackets with us. Happy March Madness. One last time, I'm going to play it, then we're signing off. Okay. And with that, we will talk to you guys later. Thanks for listening.